and welcome to the second episode of the Sesh cast. Myself, Pete. I'm in the studio with Paul and Aaron. We're covering everything like we always do. It's sunny outside, boys. It's bloody beautiful. I think I'm going to say it. The summer's here. It's officially here. I was on the way to the studio. I was just like, everyone's out and about, and I went through Tottenham Hale, and I could hear the far corner of the calls and all the Costa del Tottenham, whatever they call it, and I could hear MC. A little bit of luck. I thought, it's here. Summer's here. Are you ready for the summer, boys? Or
well, I prefer Master Blaster than a bit of luck.
Is that your favourite? I liked Ain't No Stopping Us. That was
you know what? It's a bit of a classic as well.
That is a classic. Yeah.
I like that. I like
Coochie
that.
Coochie with a Coochie Coo.
Was it the one he's done? He's done a couple of things. What's the one with the bird? Kelleher.
That's NNG. That's NNG featuring Callahan.
Callahan. That's
right before my eyes.
Yeah, he was in it. Wasn't he in it?
No, DJ Luck. Sorry, MC Neat. No, I don't think he was. But the summer's here. The garage is here. I mean, I've got 51st State tickets. I can't wait. That's going to be.
Is that on? Is that on?
Yeah, August 7th.
Is it?
It's probably the last release tickets if you're trying to go. But I believe summer's here, boys.
Well, I'll tell you when the birds start wearing short dresses.
Well,
short dresses and sunglasses.
I did acknowledge. Yes. I was driving around going, cool.
Short dresses.
They got a bit.
Yeah.
Lads, short dresses and a sunglass turns any 5 into an 8 or a 9 straight away.
It does.
Oversized sunglasses.
I tell you my things like that is oversized sunglasses and also a bird in a Range Rover. And it could be a 4. You're like, fucking hell. It's only a 9.5. I'd marry her
because of the range. Because of the
Range Rover and the glasses. You know what I mean? Could be a complete pig.
The old big.
But I love pigs, by the way. So I'm not. I'm not anti-pig.
But anyway, you get the old scaffold with his shirt off. You're like, mate, put it away.
Yeah, well, one little bit of sun. That's like on.
One for the ladies there you go.
Yeah, they love that, don't they?
Yeah.
They love that.
Yeah, but it's.
I think times have changed though. You don't really get I think in the old days you'd be like, oi, oi, darling, all that. You don't get that anymore.
Can't do that anymore.
You don't get it anymore. No, you just don't get it.
Just be yourself.
Yeah, no, you just don't. I think the times have changed where building sites are. I think if you get caught on a building site, I mean, Aaron knows more than me. You're on a building site, so. What's your thoughts on that?
That's like the worst thing you can do.
Is it?
Now, yeah, it don't matter if you could flood the place, you could paint it the wrong colour, but yeah, if catcalling, you're out of there.
You're off-site, isn't it?
You are red carded, yellow carded, off-site.
Simbin.
You've gone
a lot.
I think that's true.
And that's good. That's probably how it should be.
It's 2021, so it should be.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? I think I wouldn't mind being catcalled by a few birds.
Oh yeah.
Oi, what are you saying?
This has been a long time since someone ever looked at me and went, "You're well fit." It's been a while.
Yeah, I think I got beeped once. I was walking home.
Paul, that was me beeping you. I was giving you a lift home.
No, it's definitely a few girls in the car. I'll never forget it because it only happened once. It was about 20 years ago. And they were like, oh yeah, I was like, oh.
You done anything recently? Last couple of days? Anything exciting or not exciting?
I'm going to Aldi. Going to Aldi. That's all booked and sorted out. Going to Aldi next week would be nice. Going to Portugal. Asterix.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's green zone.
And COVID, any problems there with anything?
I've got my COVID vaccine. So I've had the vaccine. I've had both vaccines. So I've got a COVID passport now, which is good.
Which we all need.
Yeah, we do. So, yeah, apart from that, it's, I mean, I had a hangover horribly. Went out Sunday and got last week Sunday and it was a bit messy.
Well...
Do you know what I mean?
It is called the Sesh cast. You have to
I know, but I lived up to it. I've been very good recently, and then I just ruined it, and just I was out of action for 2 days.
I think me and Pete know exactly what you mean. Seeing as we was with you up until 1:30 a.m., 1:30 a.m., and then 2:30 a.m.
I think that was that the Saturday?
That was
the Sunday?
Sunday night.
See,
Yeah,
all the days rolling into one.
I don't know with you. 1 minute, you're
Sunday
going out for a
night.
drink on a Thursday, and
well, I do love
It's
like
a
a
Tuesday.
random day, don't I? You know, it's I just love them. They're the best. My best days are like a Tuesday.
oh, you like
And you know that. I go, Pete, what are you doing, mate? I mean,
A quick one after work, 4 o'clock,
yeah.
or even earlier, 3:30.
Yeah.
3:30, 3 p.m. in the sun. This beer garden, pint after work.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You might as well phone in sick for Wednesday to Thursday.
It's the problem
No point in
is
the Friday.
the problem is it's just like it's not just a one day. I feel terrible for 2 days. And I can't get my life in gear.
takes me a week to recover now from not an evening of drink, like just we're going to bed at 11 o'clock, but we're talking about drinking from
all day boozing.
I'm talking about from midday till 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I need a week now.
Yeah.
It's hard work, innit?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
We might not be as seshy as we used to be, but we're still veterans of
The Sesh.
I think we're as seshy as we ever be, but the body just can't recover as quickly. It's like we're a retired, an old age sportsman. The mind's the heart's still there, but the body
can't take it.
Can't take the punches.
The knees.
Yeah.
They say the power is the last thing to go in boxers.
The stamina's gone.
They just can't take it.
Yeah, it's the stamina.
They can give it, they can't take it, and that's probably where we are at the moment. I'd imagine.
We're fighters. We could not be doing a Canelo 4-fight-a-year contract. We're more like one fight every 2 years.
Yeah, I'm the Tyson of
Manny. We're like Manny.
Manny's actually fighting soon.
He hasn't had one. Well, his last fight was.
It was good year and a half ago, I think.
It was Keith Furman back in.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, he beat
before
him on,
COVID.
He beat him on points.
Yes.
That was nearly. By the time he fights Errol Spence, that'd be nearly 2 years.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Furman's a good boxer as well. I actually fancy Furman just for the fact he was a younger man. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I was thinking to bring up. Yep, that is a big thing coming up. So you got Spence and Spence
Pacquiao.
and Pacquiao.
Yeah. Who wins? Who wins?
I think Pacquiao's just that little. I mean, I know he beat Furman, but I think Errol Spence, along with probably Crawford and Canelo, they're probably the three. Oh, and I mean, if you're not talking about heavyweights, but if you're talking about,
You mean pound for pound?
in the pound for, he's in there, isn't he? He's in the pound for pound.
The only issue I've
and
got,
I think Pac's finished in that sense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you think Spencer's gonna win? Aaron, who do you think?
So, yeah.
I'm with Pete on this one. Spence. I'm saying, yeah.
See, the only thing I've got about that, or counters that, and I do in normal circumstances, I'd say, yeah, Errol will win. However, he had a massive car crash, and your body.
He's fought since then.
Sorry,
he's had a fight since then.
Yeah, but he hasn't fought a Manny Pacquiao. I know Manny Pacquiao. What is he? He's got to be
42.
He's 42.
Is he 42?
He's 42. When he,
42.
interestingly enough, when he
Pacquiao was 38.
Manny Pacquiao, he's almost on the Roy Jones Jr. Tyson undercard, isn't he? Of the veterans.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we're not talking about somebody who is, I think there is a 13-year age gap. But when Manny Pacquiao made his professional debut, Errol Spence Jr. was 5.
Wow.
And Manny's had a lot of fights.
There's a
he's had a lot of fights and hard, tough fights as well. He's really put himself out there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Now, there is a 13-year age gap between the two, and you're not talking about you're not talking about a 22-year-old against a 35-year-old.
Who did Spence fight before his last fight? Who was that? Was that like a stepping stone? Wasn't a big fight?
Yeah,
Should we Google it?
I can't remember who it was. We have to have a little look quick.
Let's have a quick. I'm gonna have a quick look.
Stepping stone. I don't know. I think it was someone was still of, I want to say elite level, but probably someone of high level since that fight. I can't recall who it was. I do not recall that.
I do not recall that.
I do not recall.
But in the world,
my favourite, and I think yours as well. The favourite ever speech in a film is when they go, I do not recall.
If you ever hear us on here say we don't recall it, we're quoting The Wolf of Wall Street. Just
we are. Oh, he fought Garcia.
That's right. There we go. I knew.
And that's a good level. No, he's good.
Yeah,
he's good.
Yeah.
And if he's come through that, then you got to say Spence.
Paul, while we're on there, is there odds available?
Let's have a look at the odds.
Because we know we like to have a little flutter.
We do.
We like to have a little
flutter. We need another jingle for
actually,
betting.
Pete, actually, that would be my big news in the last week. I forgot about that last Saturday.
Oh, you had a wonderful win.
A very nice, the last day of the La Liga season. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, both going for the title. And it gets to half-time. Atletico Madrid are losing. Real Madrid are losing. Barcelona are drawing. And me, like the good friend that I am, tipped everyone off. Put all three to win. 16.98 to 1 or something like that. Basically 17 to 1.
And how much on it?
Put £100 on it.
Amazing.
And then 47.5 minutes later, £1,800 I say it in the skyrocket, but it wasn't. It went straight into the betting account, which was lovely.
Did you put it back into your bank account though? That's what I always do. If I went big, I go right. That goes back into my account and leave like 50 quid.
Yeah, you get a good win on a.
No. I reinvested that evening in the Brazilian B League.
Oh yeah, and how did that go?
Over 2.5 goals, and Fluminense girls under 8s didn't score 2 goals, have 6 corners, 18 booking points, and both teams to score. So unfortunately, I blew it all. But
he blew his wad on the B team under 7s.
Well, that was it. I won that money, and I phoned up the Lamborghini dealership. They told me what I had to do, and I was one booking away from it. Really. No, of course I didn't. That is obviously a very stupid thing to do. I withdrew a large amount of money put it into my bank account, and then
leave a little bit in there, just seed money,
liquidity. I needed
seed
some
money.
I needed some liquidity in there, knowing there was a lot of football coming up this week, some boxing coming up, and
have you had a bet tonight on the Chelsea?
I haven't yet.
What's your thoughts on that?
The Oil Classico.
The who?
The Oil Classico.
Why is it?
The rich billionaire owners.
Oh, okay, yeah.
or cash, Cashico, they sometimes refer it to. Well,
the Cashico. El Cashico. I like it.
That's actually quite good, actually.
I prefer that one.
So my thoughts on tonight is very much Man City should and probably will win it. But saying that, it's a cup final. Anything can happen. And if Chelsea have been in the Champions League final before, obviously won it in 2012 in Munich against Munich, which was a harder game than tonight will have been. And if Chelsea was to win tonight, good luck to Chelsea. I hope they do. It wouldn't exactly be a big shock. Villarreal beating United was a bigger shock than tonight.
Massive.
Like no one's going to walk away from it going, "Oh my god, do you remember that time in 2021 when Chelsea won the Champions League against all odds?" It's no miracle in Istanbul sort of thing. They've beaten them twice. I think tonight. But
it's funny. It's actually in Istanbul.
It's in Porto.
It was in Istanbul.
It was meant to be in Istanbul.
Sorry, you know what? I just messed up there. Yeah, I was thinking.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be there, and then due to Turkey's gone into they've got issues out there with COVID and all the rest of it, so they've moved it to Portugal. And here's something that I read during the week as well, which is pretty much out of order. There's been 0 Portuguese fans at any Portuguese league game all season.
Oh really?
Like football's been fucked over there.
Wow.
Under 18s football's all been cancelled. Huge amount of stuff, unless it's a Champions League final and UEFA want to put on an event.
And they want to get loads of English fans.
So now there's loads of not loads as under normal conditions, but there's a fair few thousand.
Well, there's 8,000 each.
Chelsea,
and then you've got UEFA tickets, like corporate and all that,
Yeah.
which will be another sort of 15
So
probably.
what's
the sellout? What's the what are they saying is going to be sold in tickets?
I'm not sure exactly.
I bet it'll be over 20.
I'm not sure
20,
exactly.
25, 26. It's got to be.
It's not.
How many? I don't know what.
Well, they're 8,000 each, so 16.
Yeah.
At least another 8.
I don't know. They usually give about half of it to corporate. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's 6. That's 32. So
I think that sounds a lot. I don't know if it's as many as that. But
okay, I reckon.
It'd be nice if it was.
Well, they wanted 2,000 here, didn't they? So maybe it's only 2,000, keeping it low. But then the corporate sponsors and that sort of thing is going to add on to it as well. So you're probably going to imagine about at least 4.
Well,
that takes it to what? So it's going to be 8, 16, 20,000. 20,000 fans out of what's the Stadio de Luz? Is that the one?
No, that's the one in Benfica. This is at Porto's one.
What's that one? The drag out?
I don't know exactly what it's called. But it looks like a nice stadium, but it looks a lot smaller than Stadio de Luz.
Yeah, they were built for the Euros, weren't they?
Stadio de Luz, which also means a stadium of
light,
made by the same architect that did the Emirates Stadium,
Arsenal,
and they are carbon copies of each other.
Yeah.
Both carbon.
There's only one stadium.
And they're both rubbish
Big
teams.
up Sunderland.
I know, I love the stadium I like.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stadium I like.
The Black Cats, Sunderland till I die.
Yeah. I mean, that was... I watched that, the Mackham. I watched the Sunderland till I die.
I love that. I thought that was... If you haven't seen Sunderland till I die, Netflix, I recommend it, guys. Yeah. It's brilliant. Passionate. I love it. Passionate football is
I feel like now we should cue the Valkyrie music, the one that from The Apprentice, because that's what the CEO of Sunderland wanted the players to walk onto at one point. He got rid of their traditional song and then done the duh, 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 like
he was going for it. Yeah.
However it went like that.
Donaldson, Stuart Donaldson was his name, wasn't it? That's what his name was. It was
the one who took over from.
He thought it was like
season in the one who took over in season 2,
championship manager, didn't he? And he was like, "Do you see when he negotiated? What's his name? Will Griggs.
Oh, he couldn't handle it,
mate. He was like $1 million. All right, give him 1.2. I'll give them on 4. They were like, they must have been sitting there.
They were literally like, we'll never give him like 2 mil or whatever. Yeah. He's like, tell them 1. At the end, about 4 hours later, he's going, 1.9.75. All right, that's the deal.
Yeah, he got right played there, didn't he? Just go backtrack slightly. Evil spent is 1 to 4 on. So that means £4 to win £1.
1 to 4 on. So what's Manny then?
He's
13
to 4. So it's £13. £4 to win 13.
Yeah.
So that's as good as 3 to 1. It's like 3.2 to 1 or something stupid like that.
So
money on Manny. Not that, hang on, we are not financial advisors, or are we?
Sorry, disclaimer.
Yeah, this is not a tip, but if you do win, 10% please to us.
Only 10%. I heard it's higher in Ireland.
Hang on. Lads, it's 50% nil.
50%.
It depends what accent you put it in. And we accept Bitcoin as well if you wanted to pay us in that.
We do.
And beers.
So Bitcoin's a bit up and down at the moment, isn't it? It's now it was 45,000. Now it's 24.
Yeah, I mean it's not really up and down. It's just down.
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 No,
down.
it went back to 30 last week,
down.
and then back down to like 25, and then
correct.
24.
Do you think there's novice Bitcoin kind of people who have jumped on it are going, what's going on right now? I don't know.
It's paper hands. It's called, Pete. Paper hands. People who haven't done any research, haven't done any thoughts about investing or anything like that, and have just gone, I need to jump on this Bitcoin train. I need to jump on this cryptocurrency train, and thrown in loads of money, probably over leveraged themselves, probably put too much money into it, money they can't afford to lose, which means that they're not in a position to hold or hodl. So the prices started going down, shit their pants, had to sell. It's gonna be back up.
They pulled out.
They pulled out paper hands.
Yeah.
Paper hands.
But interesting.
But
We see where it goes.
Just on the Bitcoin and all the haters out there who are Bitcoin, the bubbles burst. I told you it was this and the con and all that. Bitcoin today is still higher than it's ever been, not including 2021 prices.
Yes.
Does that make sense? So from the 31st of December 2020, previous to that, it's higher than it ever was.
So he's still up if he was in price.
It will rise up. I think what a lot of problems with Bitcoin is partly there's been quite a bit of negative press on it with what they're trying to be like. They're like, there's too much energy being used to produce a Bitcoin.
Thanks, Elon.
Yeah, Elon was a major part of that, which is foolish for him to do because he has like 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Unless he wanted the price to go down and wanted to buy some more.
I imagine that's what he did.
Yeah. Multi-billionaire Elon Musk, second richest man in the world, was playing games to try and make some more money.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe it.
I mean, the guy makes rocket launchers, a flamethrower thing. So imagine.
Have you heard about the new Tesla?
Well, I'm just to let you know. I don't know. I think you know. I don't know. I think you know.
Told me.
Yeah, I paid a deposit for the tank one. So that's coming out next.
The
tank DeLorean.
Cybertruck, it's called.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a tank DeLorean.
And
I can't wait. I'm on a waiting list. I'm getting it in 2022.
Wow.
And I can't wait.
I will say this: if there's any one man I know walking this earth that needs bulletproof glass, it's you.
Got a bit annoying. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Have you seen it? You've seen it, haven't you?
I have seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. They announced it a couple over a year ago, didn't they? But yeah, they're still. But have you seen the new? They're bringing out a new sports car.
Okay.
It's going to have a button on it called SpaceX Launch.
Okay.
And it does 0 to 60 in 1.1 second.
It's ridiculous.
Which I don't care, unless you're a Formula One driver, you're going to have a real problem dealing with that acceleration.
You're going to lose control. Have you ever seen like videos where people like sped off too quick in like a diesel or petrol car and they start like losing the control of it a little bit?
There's loads on YouTube with Lambos like that.
Yeah, Lambos.
People who are trying to pull away at the lights but not in a straight line. So they're trying to do a left turn,
pulls away,
revving a little bit, and as soon as you give it a bit too much, the back end just fucking goes.
That's what happens.
You need to have a lot of these.
It's the weight as well. The weight's the issue. It's too much power to weight ratio, and it'll just lose. The front end loses control, and that's it.
You need good traction as well. I mean, I was watching a load of drag races between the current sports cars in a minute, and the one that blew me away was the Porsche 911 Turbo. It has because it's just 4-wheel drive. It's 4-wheel drive launch control, and there's cars that are like double its brake horsepower. Almost every model Lamborghini, and on the pull off, this Porsche is just destroying
the pull off.
The pull off.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's half the price. It's insane. It's like 150 grand car.
Sounds like a bargain.
Sounds like a bargain.
Two.
Yeah. Well, once this podcast takes off, I'll be all right.
We'll get a few. Yeah.
My biggest.
We'll get one each.
You know what they say, Pete? Precision beats power, and timing beats speed. I don't know if that.
Well, I think that's what this traction's trying to tell you. It's really it takes off so well. You can't. It just grips to the road. It's got a bit. It grips it. And it sounds like...
I do love a Porsche.
It sounds, when you actually hear it revving compared to all the other cars, it sounds like like a diesel Ford Transit. Don't even sound like it.
It doesn't sound nice.
It doesn't sound like... It sounds muffled down like you can't hear nothing.
Really?
And it accelerates off and it's quarter of a mile. It's ridiculous on a drag. Like, there was a souped up like 800 brake horsepower Skyline race in it and he just... blew it away. He's just like
Skylines, like the old ones.
I love the old ones.
For the people that haven't lost all their money on Bitcoin and stuff like that, how much is that Porsche and the Tesla 0 to 60 in
I don't know what the
1.1
price of the
seconds.
new Tesla is. I'd like to know.
Can you send you back? Is it a car in production or is it a concept?
It's probably concept. The 1.1 second car, it sounds very.
the Tesla?
Sounds very
No,
concept. The sports car Tesla. That
Do you know Tesla are worth more than every other car company put
know.
together?
Yeah.
Ford,
Put together?
Then
Yeah.
Because there's not that
They
many.
were.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Toyota previously was the highest value company,
'Cause-
and they're like 3 times the amount of Toyota now.
There's not that many
Which is crazy.
There's not that many car companies, are
Yeah, I know,
there?
but
Because
you know-
a lot of them make like Audi, VW, and a few others. They're all made under the same
Yeah,
umbrella,
but you know why their value so highly? Just not just because of cars. It's the battery. It's all the gigafactories they make.
It's the batteries.
Because they like do stuff like they built one in Australia, like, and they said we'll do it in a certain amount of time. If we don't, we'll give it for free, basically. And they did it early than what was anticipated in time to build it. But basically, they're building big solar power factories, and then all these batteries, and they're doing all this other stuff, power stations and all that. That's why they're so valuable, because it's all the on top stuff as well as cars. You know, so they're. I think they're a really good company. I like Tesla a lot.
Still, I mean, electric cars are still pricey, and a lot of people are still going to struggle.
Coming down though.
Of course, and naturally they should. I mean, I'm driving a hybrid at the minute, Toyota, and it's really nice. I really like it.
But it's only hybrid if you go slow, isn't it? It's like when you're in an Uber and you're going like 30. It's really annoying. Like, you know,
Great in city.
And they're doing that because of the electric.
Yeah, it's electric. If it goes to a certain speed.
Yeah.
Great in the city. When I'm sitting in traffic,
Yeah.
coming to the studio today, you
Yeah.
know, it's not a problem. Every now and again, you go, oh, I've got to get in front of this geezer. You put your foot down. Yeah, the revs go up, and you drink a bit of juice. But
Is he a jump in it to go like when you?
is it? Oh,
You know, when it goes from battery to
how's it
no,
transition?
it's still smooth. It's still
Is it?
smooth, and it has got a little bit of zip. It's all
Has
right. I mean, it's an estate, so it's bloody
Yeah.
big, but it's all right. I really like it.
I can't get on with a state. I'm not an estate car
Yeah.
person.
No, I mean,
Do you know what I mean? Like, I
if
just don't know.
it's
I
all
feel
about
like
the dog life, innit? Dog life. If
yeah,
you
but
love
I've had
dog-
dogs, haven't I?
I
I like
have an
dags.
estate.
dags.
I love a dag, but I just can't. I don't know. I just, you know what? I probably still think I'm 21. So like, I like more of a sporty,
You've got a sporty
number.
car,
I'm
yeah.
just not honest. The estate's the long one, isn't it, with a back boot and all that.
Yeah,
yeah. It's not for me.
So we've obviously everyone being really apprehensive about Bitcoin. Everyone's Bitcoin's.
Yeah.
What's the next thing?
Well, Cardano, we've got a bit, but that's basically the same. It's a third generation coin. So you've got a bit. Have you got a bit of that? Or you don't really discuss it, do you?
Kicking tires, mate.
Kicking tires. But
tires.
basically, do you reckon, the reason it's more efficient, it's not like because all this efficiency. I was going earlier on. I've got to change the subject, but the way about the amount of energy it takes to produce a Bitcoin, as in like to mine it basically, and the Cardano is the same. It costs the same, but how they save energy is that one person gets sort of issued that block to mine. So it's because with Bitcoin, which is basically a first generation cryptocurrency, is that like everyone competes to mine a block basically, which is and then whoever completes the sort of the sort of calculations of that block, they get rewarded by 12.5 coins. And that's basically, whereas Cardano is like, you don't, so everyone else loses with Bitcoin, where that person wins it, everyone else loses, and that all that energy is wasted. Whereas Cardano get one person to mine it, and then if they don't mine it, they lose their space basically. But they have like preferred miners, and then when one person can't do it in a certain amount of time, they'll move, that miner gets dropped, and they'll put a next miner in the list goes onto it to mine it. So there's no wasted energy basically. That's the difference between the two. But the interesting thing, the amount of energy it costs to run cash machines, to run the current financial system as we have at the moment, which runs on massive servers, bigger than what Bitcoin do. There's no mention of that, because the reason people who mention it are the ones what are in power, which don't want it mentioned. So you got like Mark Carney, who's the previous Bank of England. What was he? Governor, isn't it? I was saying director, governor.
Bank of England.
And they're like, oh, this, that, and green this and green that. And it's all like a narrative from the people who are actually in power saying it. And it's like, if you look at the intake, the energy it uses to run the current obsolete transfer money and financial system, it's unbelievable. It's off the scale, but they don't mention that. So when any news comes of, like, say a Biden says something or whatever, people react to it and then sell it off. But it's the people who are in power, folk, and the people, the sort of the mainstream media, they what they sort of purvey it like, oh no, it's really bad for the economy and really bad for the world, as in, green this and green that, and it's not really. So that's my. I mean, I love it. I think it's fantastic, and it's the way forward. And it will be.
Do you feel that a lot of people, like any? I'm not saying Bitcoin is a fad, obviously.
Not just Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency.
Yeah, any crypto.
But China are doing their own digital currency now. So at the moment, obviously, they've got like a two system where they've got the traditional banking and like paper money, but they've got a cryptocurrency RMB, which is the Chinese yuan, and they're basically doing it. So they'll basically make cash transfers and traditional banking methods be obsolete, and it'll be done on a blockchain. That's what they're the first ones to do it. The states will do it, because if they don't do it, if the states don't, if the USA don't do that, the problem they're going to have is they're going to fall behind, and then the world reserve currency won't be the US dollar. And if they can't print dollars to buy stuff, which they do currently, then they're basically screwed. And the amount of debt they've got, they become a third world country if they lose their world reserve status. It's the financial system is completely changing. It's going to be the next sort of 10, 15 years, money as we know it is going to completely change. And COVID sort of brought it on quicker, because like the likes of Israel now, it's cashless society in Israel. So there's no shekels, which is their money. There's none of that anymore. It's like, there is shekels, but it's digital. It's on your card. Yeah. Not digital. It's not like cryptocurrency, but it's like a traditional card banking system.
Yeah, it's not a tangible.
But you can't get cash out the machine.
Yeah.
So, you can't nip out and get a cheeky bit of dough out if you needed it, basically, which is and they want that as well, because if there's no cash in society, it's harder to then, but this is why cryptocurrency will always be around, because if you can't get cash out and pay things to cash, then how else are they going to do it? They want it decentralized, because all these countries want to have it so they're in power, because if you control the financial system, you control the country.
So if everything becomes digital, do you think there'll ever be a situation where the fluctuation in the value of currencies in it?
That'll always happen, because currencies, I mean, Aaron knows a bit more about this than me, but currencies will always be traded, and there'll always be fluctuations in currency. The reason there's fluctuations in price in cryptocurrency is because people are pulling money out, and the prices go up and down on the fact it's like supply and demand, basically.
But they want to. I mean, certain countries in the world probably wouldn't want there to be a universal global digital currency that's the rate is the same.
Well, there never will be, because if there's a universal currency, then certain countries who fall foul of it can be cut off financially. So, say for instance, I don't know, like Iran, for instance, which is if they were part of a world currency called crypto world currency or whatever, if they done a nuclear test, or they built a power station which is nuclear powered, or whatever they're trying to do at the moment, then the UN would get together and go, right, we're going to cut you off financially, and then the country's bankrupt. So you'll never have all countries agreeing to one currency. You might have a block. So you obviously you got the euro, which is a block of countries that use a currency, and look at the problems that's caused. Because the problems that's caused is Germany. They're a net producing country, and then like Greece aren't, but then Greece can borrow at the same price as Germany, and then what happens is they rack up massive debt and can't pay it back. Then what happens? Obviously, this is 2008. The Germans went in and nationalised all their, they took all the national like sort of valuable like assets, like your water, your power stations, and all that, and they basically own them, and that's what they did. But they'll never be able to pay back what they owe. But that's the problem. You can't have like a big country and a small country, unless how we do it with UK. In the UK, Westminster actually transfers more money over to Scotland to pay their bills, because if Scotland run actually at a loss for what their liabilities and financial liabilities in that country, what they make is not enough to cover it. So Westminster, to keep the union going, if we didn't, Scotland would run at a higher deficit and be in debt. If we had a union where financially it wasn't a union, but what it is at the moment, Westminster transfers funds to Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. So if Scotland want to go, they can crack on. Basically, sorry, they're going to go oil, but then they're like,
deep. We're going very deep.
We are. Sorry.
Very
Am I
deep,
boring
very
everyone?
deep.
Let's
Maybe-
lighten up a little bit.
I don't think.
You might
But
want this
I think what
conversation in
you-
3 weeks' time when they probably beat us in the Euros.
I think
Could you imagine?
what you're saying is very interesting and very true, and I agree. I mean, we speak about this a lot,
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff. I do think it's a bit of a higher level sort of conversation. But so what I do want to do,
I do like it.
what I do want to do is just bring value to all of our listeners.
Yes.
and
Sorry.
the famous
The ones that are listening to like
the-
the financial stuff.
the-
We're not the FT.
Well, we did want to cover some.
Well, we
No,
want
no,
to
cover
hang
some
on, hang on.
good
chat. You know what I mean?
subjects,
Like,
yeah, we said
you know,
that.
it's
what I want
interesting to
to
some people.
what I want to add to the
Sorry.
conversation is
Go
this: is that question that you asked, Pete, is cryptocurrency, is it here to stay? Is it a passing fad or whatever like that? And in my opinion, if you want to know what's going to happen in the future, all you need to do is look back in history, because history will always repeat itself.
true.
And if you look back at the monetary system, okay, all the way back from the days when people were selling their daughters, right, for fucking 2 goats or something like that,
Or a nice camel.
right? Two goats, a camel, and a bag of corn for
I'd sell my missus for a Premier League
know,
title. I'll tell you that much.
for that sort of stuff, which then evolved into gold coins and stuff like that.
That was
But-
bartering, by the way. That's back in the day. It was bartering.
Yeah, it
Yes,
wasn't.
of
It wasn't a set
Yeah.
price of 2 goats for
Yeah.
your sister. You know, it could be 3 goats depending on the sister.
Yeah.
Or of
On
course,
the looks.
or in this day and age, your brother. Who knows? Anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, let's move on from there. And then the monetary system moved on to coins and stuff like that. But rather than $1, let's
Gold.
say, or something like that, the coins were done on weight, right?
Yeah,
They
well, it's
were-
gold.
It was
Gold or silver.
But they were made out of silver, they
Yeah.
were made out of bronze, they were made out of copper, they were made out of stuff like that. And it was all done on the actual weight of the coins. So you were selling a commodity, or you were exchanging a commodity for a product. And then it moved on to paper money and stuff like that, which didn't necessarily have an actual...
It was a promise.
it was a promise. That's when the government started getting involved, because
Yes.
you weren't actually trading something of weight or its own monetary value. They got involved, and then they said, right, this is what's going to happen. This bit of paper or this coin here,
No, it's paper.
so it's, right.
Yeah.
So we're going to say it's worth $1
Yeah.
or it's worth $10 or whatever like that, and we're going to guarantee that is worth $10, and then the price of the dollar was linked to gold.
It was tied to gold.
Right, so
Up until
basically-
71, that was called the gold standard.
I knew you had to get in there with that.
Sorry.
fact before just as I was building up to my
sorry.
drop of my 1971 knowledge.
Yeah. Nixon.
But the point is,
Fucker.
we've seen 3 big revolutions just then in the way that money and transactions have changed, and then the gold standard changed in 1971. Paul's absolutely right. So we saw another big change, and now what we're going through is another change as well, where something else has got involved,
Which is better.
which is better,
Yeah.
and is also needed. So why is cryptocurrency so important? Or one of the reasons why it's so important, I could give you £10 now, Pete, in cash, and no one will ever know about it apart from our thousands of listeners and us 3. Okay, if I was to transfer you £10, then I don't transfer you £10. It goes to the bank. Bank transfer you £10,
yeah.
and there's a paper trail and it goes through it. With cryptocurrency, it's exactly the same as cash. So if I was to transfer it to your wallet, there is a record of it on a blockchain, but it doesn't say Aaron's transferred £10 worth of Bitcoin.
It's anonymous.
It doesn't say Aaron's.
Anonymous? No, anonymous.
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 It doesn't say
Phenomenal.
Aaron's
Phenomenal.
transferred £10 worth of
Yeah,
Bitcoins to
it's all
you.
numbers.
It says this random wallet, which can't be tracked unless I decide to make that public, has transferred $10 worth of Bitcoin to yourself.
Sounds like my OnlyFans page. So I had 2 quick snowball questions to ask in regards to cryptocurrency for someone who's like me, like, you know,
A layman.
a layman. Yeah. Do you personally believe there are people out there that are buying cryptocurrency almost like a fad because they believe, oh, it sounds cool to have crypto, you know,
Well, no,
be
it's
involved
more
in
that they get on the
cryptocurrency
bandwagons in the news.
without no real knowledge of what they're doing.
Well, yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
mean, to be fair, we don't really know what we're doing, I think.
Well, we have a little bit
No, a
more
little
of an
bit.
understanding than most people. But what's happened is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was big in 2017. Price went up, and then it's dropped a lot since then. And people, when it was really low, people told you it was a pile of shit. When it started going up and it hit 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, people were like, no, it won't last. Then all of a sudden it hits 40 grand. People get FOMO, and they're like, oh my God,
Yes,
I'm gonna
definitely.
I need to be a part of this. Put too much money into it, and then which is perfectly normal in markets, the price retracts, and you see this in every single thing. Most people on here will drive a car, and the price of petrol fluctuates. It goes up, it goes down. Exactly the same as Bitcoin, gold, wheat, copper, metal, wood, absolutely everything. As Paul said earlier on, it's all to do with supply and
Anything
demand.
that can trade.
And that's what happens. Rather than actually having an investment strategy, which we'll probably go through on another podcast at some point, of going, I'm going to do £10 a week and then I'll work it out from there. People go, right, this Bitcoin train, I didn't believe in it. Now it's at all-time highs. Now it's about to take off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sell my Xbox, my shoes, my fucking underpants, and put everything into it.
That sounds a bit like Jay in Inbetweeners, apart from the Xbox. He sold his clothes. He was like, I'm going to go and get a ticket and see Carly. Do you remember that? Classic.
And that also solves the mystery of why I'm sitting here with no underpants on.
He was down in Camden High Street earlier doing it.
So I had one question. This is a question to each of you individually.
Go on.
So if you could give one personal, no general, and there's probably no one's got the real formula, but one personal word of advice or tip you would give to someone who's interested in getting into digital, cryptocurrencies, and just give them the heads up, or one little tip or trick you could
what
give
I
them.
would do is, say, for instance, you earn, I don't know, 1,000, it's a nice round number, £1,000 a month. If you can afford 5% or maybe 10%, put that in a month.
50 or something.
Yeah, so 50 quid,
Yeah.
100 quid. Because it's better having some skin in the game than not at all. Because in a day...
At least you'll lose that FOMO.
Yeah,
You'll be getting a little bit of
and
something.
it's not like you could be... I mean, we've got a friend, haven't we? And he rings me up.
He's your mate, by the way.
He's my mate, apparently. And he rings me up, and he got on it, and he's made I don't know, a couple of grand out of it. Nothing,
Which of your mates are we talking about here?
You know what I'm talking about.
The northern one or the one on the island?
No, the northern one. And he was like, he's ringing me up going, mate, I can't believe it. It's gone down so much. I'm like, look, what have you lost? About 800 quid. I mean, you're still up. Just deal with it.
For the benefit of the tape, he hasn't lost it unless he sells it.
Yeah,
right?
you haven't lost it unless you sell it. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I'm sitting there in the gym, right? And I was like, mate, don't worry about it. You'll be all right. But just have a little bit. Be in the game and have a little bit. Because in the day, we've got issues with inflation at the moment, which is a big issue in this country, not just this country, all around the world. Inflation is basically tax on your money you've saved. So if inflation's like 8%, it's not 3 or 4%. Well, they think it's 2% at the moment. But real terms 4 or 5. It'll be pushing. Pushing 8%. So if you have 100 quid in your savings account for a year, basically with inflation, which means the price go up and stuff, your money's devalued, your buying power is 8% less. So you're better off investing some. I'm not saying put all your money into it. If you put 5-10%, that would be my opinion on something. Really, is the best thing to do to hedge off the devalue of your money, because that's what's. We're in a funny time, and it's going to change a lot, as I said earlier. And just to be in it is probably the best way to be. We'll lighten up and have some sport chat. But what's your one piece of advice?
This is good.
Unless you have other investments, be very, very wary about getting involved in crypto. I don't think it should be your first port of investments. What Paul says about doing a percentage of your income each month is 100% correct. 100% correct. And what you should do is you should do that first of all. So anyone who is employed will realise that. We'll use the UK average of 24 grand a year. So that means you get paid £2 a month. That's your gross pay. You don't actually get £2,000 into your bank account each month. You'll get something like £1,700 or something like that.
Yeah.
The reason why that is because the government take their tax first, right? Tax and national insurance. The reason why they do that first is because they don't trust you, the normal person, to be able to pay it at the end of the month, because they expect you to spunk your money, which is what you will do. So the 10% which Paul just spoke about is exactly what you should be doing. But on payday, you get your hypothetical £2,000. You have to give, say, £300 to the taxman first of all, and then your 10%, which should be 200 quid. You then don't spend. You pay yourself first, and then you move that into your savings. Into your savings or your investments. And your investments doesn't need to be, right, I have to do it all on Bitcoin. What you can do is you can go, right, I'm going to put
diversify.
You need to diversify. Absolutely. You can put a little bit.
You had to get in there first.
A little bit. The thing is
Keyword.
he's doing it all.
Keywords, I love it.
over the last year or two, me and you, Paul, have had so many conversations of this, and this is exactly what we do in our lives. And the thing is, we do this in our lives, and this is why we spend Wednesday afternoon sitting in the sauna at David Lloyd's, right?
We do, and we love it.
Chilling out
because I have to work out first
because of these sorts of decisions.
Sounds like the scene out of Eastern Promise. It sounds a bit like just in a sauna. Just
mate, it's really good for you.
But you know what?
You know the Finnish call it a sauna.
Sauna.
I saw shout out to Travel Man. I watched it on Travel Man in Finland. And did you know there's only one restaurant with a sauna is the restaurant. So Burger King have built a restaurant, sells burgers obviously, in a sauna. So you sit there having you have your burger and chips in a sauna.
That sounds a bit stodgy.
Can I just want to throw a little stat in quickly, right? When it comes to investing, and this is mainly in the stock market, all right? And exactly what we was talking about in the story you brought up, Paul, about leaving your money in the market, all right? So don't over leverage, and what we mean by that is don't put in more money than you can afford to. Make sure it's just a little bit that you don't need to touch. And here's the statistics why you should invest long term, okay? If you was to put money into a stock, a share or something like that, and you was to leave it in for 1 month and then sell, 39.3% of the time, you'll have lost money from doing that, okay? If you was to only leave it into the market for 1 year, 30% of the time, you'll lose money, okay? If you was to leave it in there for 10 years, you lose money 11% of the time, okay? If you leave it in there for 20 years or plus, 0.1% of people will lose money from doing that. So the point is,
don't panic. It's a long game.
It's a long game.
What you're doing is it's delayed gratification. You're not investing to buy the car next week. I mean, fuck the car. Get your head down and graft and invest your money. You're not doing it for what is going to bring you back next week or next year or in 2 years. What you're doing is to give you the life that you want in 20 years' time. That's exactly what it's for.
I love it.
Unless
someone told me. Someone told me something once.
Aaron, our financial analyst. I think
Aaron will like this one. There's when's the best time to invest?
I fucking told you this. I fucking told you this, you prick.
So someone told me this.
Being here, Aaron.
When's the best time to invest? When you're 16. When's the second test? There's a question for you. When's the second best time to invest?
The day after you're 16.
No. Today,
yeah.
Right now. It's
right now, people.
Fucking belly. It's an ancient Chinese proverb which comes from, when was the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the second best time to plant a tree? Right now. And you know what? That's true for absolutely everything in life. How many people... I'll start the gym on Monday. I'll start the gym on January the 1st. Fuck waiting for time, which is man-made, by the way. I don't want to go too Russell Brand on everyone, but it's...
Well, I say that as well sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because you nick it from fucking Russell Brand, like you do everything else. Well, Scouser alert, nicking people's content.
We got a friend that always says to me, even if you just go into let's say you go to the gym, it's the first time you've been in the gym for a year, 2, 3, however many. Even if you're in there and you do what you believe, when you're looking around thinking everyone's doing 90-minute workouts going high intensity and you do nothing, you end up doing a couple of curls and a couple of this and that and 20 minutes on a machine. A friend of mine always says it's more than what you did yesterday.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's
true.
important.
I agree. And with regards to going to the gym, like, it's really good to work out and keep yourself, because especially with mental health at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't go to the gym, like if I'm like eating shit and like not going to the gym, I feel like shit. But as soon as I get myself into the gym and, over a regular period and eat well, the difference in your mood. So anyone who's feeling a bit shit, really, if you just do that, I know there's other things, and I'm not talking about people who have got mental, like, illness or whatever. I'm not saying that, but like the average Joe who just feels a bit shit most of the time, if you change your diet and eat well and go to the gym, it'll make a whole world difference in your life.
And just to add to that, which is a really good point, while we're talking about investing and stuff like that, and it's very easy, let's do our hypothetical person with £200 to spend, and you go, it's simple, all you got to do, £50 in Bitcoin, £50 in this, £50 in that, £50 in that, etc. One of the best things you can invest in is yourself. So what we mean by that, right, is investing in your health. So going to the gym, your health and your fitness, investing in adding another £30 to your weekly food shop to buy vegetables or to buy a better caliber of food, okay? and to invest in yourself by reading more books or self-help books or going to
knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge,
and knowledge is
100%
wealth.
power. I'm a big fan of conferences, and I'm a big fan of these people, not necessarily self-help people who are there to take your fucking shit, but a little bit like exactly what we've been talking about today, Paul. People who have been there and who are there, who are happy to talk about stuff and share their knowledge and things like that. Invest in yourself first, because if you get yourself fit, healthy, focused, it's like, you're up at 5:30 a.m, you're working, there's 18 hours in the day, and then you can start taking care of it.
Well, you know what we do, and you're in the group as well. Like, when we're up early, we do the early bird catches the worm emoji.
We do the worm emoji to make sure we're all up and motivated.
We do. So we do that for two reasons. One, it's a bit of banter, but two, it's actually a motivation. I would say. What would you say?
Yeah,
it motivates other people.
Well,
so I'll do it. You'll do it.
Yeah.
It's a motivation technique, isn't it?
What happens is us guys basically hate each other. So what we do is it all turns into a competition. So there's no fucking way I'm letting you. If you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and send the worm, and I wasn't the first one to send it, I'll get the fucking ump. So I need to make sure tomorrow I'm up at 5:59 sending it, and I know exactly what that'll do. You'll go, I ain't letting that cunt do it tomorrow, so you'll be up at 5:58 to do it.
Easy on the old CUNT people.
And that's
sorry. He's dropped it. He's dropped the ball.
I asked you guys if I was allowed.
You are allowed to.
You are, but
you sat me down.
Let's keep it low.
You sat me down and went through a thing. You went through a list of things that I could and could not say.
Okay.
That's all right.
I raised my concerns earlier on that I was a liability on the airwaves.
Aaron needs red flag every now and then.
So
I'm also a little bit concerned about something, lads. Our soundbite at this is going to be the lads on the Sesh cast recommend eating vegetables and going to the gym.
Hang on.
I was thinking about that about 2 minutes ago.
Right, listen.
Hang on.
On that.
Emmerdale last week, broccoli this week.
I get what you're saying, Aaron, and you are
is
right
false
in a way.
advertising. We're going to get done for this.
However,
FaceTime us in 8 hours and see what we're like.
Yeah, exactly. But also, life is about. What's the best word?
It's a balance. You have to balance it.
You got to balance it. Yin yang.
The moral of when you get to, for an example, we said it like a bit like old Pacquiao.
Moderation,
right?
At
the end of the day, you can't be 100% of every single element of you. You can't be 100% committed to fitness. Yep. You can't be 100% committed to.
No, we can't.
Getting on a session, having a great time.
We're not saying that. We're not saying.
No. But that's somebody once described the best way to balance your life, and this is something I heard from somebody who works in psychology. Best way to balance your life is imagine your life is like, do you remember Trivial Pursuit?
Like a box of chocolates.
Your life is like a box of chocolates. But imagine in your life, do you remember Trivial Pursuit? You had the pie and you had about 5 or 6 different pieces. So the best thing for you to do is draw a circle and then create some pies within that circle and write down within that pie chart the things that are important to you. So you put
Sesh,
your social life, Sesh life, whatever,
Sesh, Tottenham and Harry Kane.
Family.
We'll go on to that in a minute.
Your family life, your spirituality, your work life. And the trick is, you can't be 100% of all them things all the time. So what you got to do is every now and again refer to the chart and go, right, how is my personal life with my family? That's really low because my life with my work life and my friends is really high. You have to stabilize the wheel. A wheel will not turn if it's unbalanced. That was something that
I like that. I like that.
I agree with. I get what you're saying, but I disagree with it.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
Because I hear you, but I disagree.
Yeah, I hear you, but it's bollocks. But it's definitely not bollocks. But I want to just take it up another level from there.
Okay.
So a lot of people talk about work-life balance, okay, and stuff like that, which is pretty much what you're talking about.
Not that. I'm talking about just stabilizing the whole curvature of
the wheel
of your life. Yeah.
What I'm coming to is I don't like using the word balance or work-life balance, which is something that gets thrown at me a lot.
Very hard to do in the UK.
But the trouble is, when you talk about work-life balance, if you picture it, you're basically seeing a seesaw, right, which is going to go up and down, and it is almost like, well, to make your home life better, you need to take something away from. To make your life better, you need to take something away from your work, and to make your work better, you need to take something away from your home. So I've changed my way of thinking in the last couple of years. I don't refer to it as work-life balance. I refer to it as work-life integration. Okay. Integration. Paul hopefully will back me up on this one. We are entrepreneurs, right? It's in you. It's built in you. Your work is your life, right? or for me it is anyway, 100%. It's a major part of my life. It makes me tick. If I'm not particularly busy, then I get unhappy. So I need work in my life. I also need my family in my life. So when we talk about balance, it's almost like they need to be separated. But through doing integration, what I've done is I've found ways where I can involve my work and my home life and combine them both, so I can be not active and 100% attention in both ways, but there's ways where I can be at home with the family, or at soft play with the family, or swimming with the family, but there's an understanding that there's an...
He also goes on his own sometimes.
There's an integration. That's my happiest time, sitting in the sauna by myself for an hour.
We went to soft play.
I meant a soft play, mate.
The soft play.
I saw a picture of you, didn't I?
Yeah,
Beating up children.
I was
Get out of the way.
Taking over. I'm not here to take part. I'm here to take
well,
over.
you know what happened there? I went to the gym and I was hitting the bag, and it was a bit heavy and it was a bit big. So I thought I'll go into the soft play and
hit a child.
And I'll hit the well. I was getting ready for it. I started warming up, and then I didn't fancy the look of the 6-year-old in the corner. He had a bit
heavy.
Yeah. He put it on me. He nicked my lunch money, so I had to run off.
Just to let you know, Brentford have been promoted.
They have. I was just literally about to touch on that one.
Yeah.
So we've seen it 2-0.
Yeah, Ivan Toney. Everton were linked with him as well.
Right. So, question to you.
You going for a wee?
No.
All right, see you later.
I didn't want to say that
Is
at
he
all.
going home?
I didn't want to say that at all.
He's like,
I've done my.
about the old 6-year-old. He was like, I've had enough of this.
Do you know what I like? He's done his whole financial analytical kind of part of the podcast. He's
Dropped the mic.
Dropped the mic. Just walked out of the
He's
studio.
like, see you later. I'm done.
So,
I think he's going to the toilet.
question to you,
Yes, sir.
Paul. With Brentford now promoted to the Premier League,
Yes.
how do you think they'll fare?
I think they get relegated.
You think so? You don't think they got a structure there ready for it? New ground and everything?
No, I don't.
Prolific striker?
I mean, out of the teams that ever get promoted through the playoffs, they very rarely stay up anyway. Because they're the third worst out of the three.
I think. Well, the thing you say that, but the thing with Brentford,
Well,
is
they are,
they've
aren't
been
they?
knocking.
I know they've been knocking on it,
Not
but
always the case. They've been knocking on the door.
yeah, I get that, but I get
they
what
look
you're
like
saying.
primary candidates.
Well, they always are. Any team that goes up, as soon as the team goes up, they're the favourites to get relegated anyway.
I meant they looked. Over the last few years, if there was ever a club that looked prepared to come back to the. Well, I say that actually that's a bit of a lie, because you look at Leeds and you look at Aston Villa and these are
but
big,
they're
big
massive
football.
clubs.
They're massive football clubs.
and they're a lot more financial backing.
I've always
as well.
said before, I think this is the first time.
Yeah, but Villa yo-yo, they went up and down and then up
Not
again.
really. I mean, they went down and then they've come back up.
Yeah, and then they got relegated again.
Did they?
Yeah, and then back up again.
I didn't know.
Yeah, they went up for a season. And
but I mean,
down
before
again.
that, never went down in.
No,
years.
for years. They were like the third longest club.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I said it earlier. I remember. So this for Brentford, this is their first time in the Premier League.
Yeah.
First time in top flight football since 1947.
Wow,
that's massive.
that's amazing.
So you're thinking it's one season?
Yeah, yeah. And then Ivan Toney will go to Everton or someone like that.
But we could have said this about Brighton, new stadium and not ready for the Prem. When it's a club that's never been in the Premier League, Brighton obviously that was their first time in the Premier League. I think they were.
Yeah, but it's rare, isn't it?
They got promoted last time. Top flight was 1985.
Yeah, but hang on, the Premier League's been going for years now, yeah, and very rarely a team comes up, stays up. They might stay up for a season or two, and then get relegated anyway. But I do believe they'll go down the first time. Yeah, I do believe. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, I mean, good congratulations to them. They got, as I said, Ivan Toney. He'll be there next
He's
year.
got a bit.
Do you know how many goals it is, including today's player?
35,
33 goals.
33.
I mean, he's got to be worth a few quid, isn't he?
Well, Everton looked at him. I think we were looking at about 30 million. And but now he's obviously Premier League player. But they wouldn't sell him. They'll keep him for a season anyway.
Definitely.
And the thing is, he's right to stay for a season, because what'll happen is he'll go up in value anyway.
Yeah,
because if he's had a season behind him to acclimatise to the Premier League, if he gets like 13 goals for these Brentford lot, like
he's Brentford.
Well, like if he's getting 13 for Brentford,
yeah,
he'll get 25 for Man City, not Man City, but they wouldn't go to Man City.
He's just got to establish himself as a Premier League striker.
You know what? He's sort of Drogba-esque. Do you know that?
Yeah, he has
Ivan Toney.
Physique-wise.
Hang on, sorry lads. The trouble is though, Ivan Toney. So you're talking about him scoring the goals and doing all the rest of it. Pukki done that last year, didn't he? Timu Pukki for Norwich.
Yes,
banged a load of goals in the
He's in our
Championship.
dream team.
He done well in our dream team last season. Come up, took the Premier League by storm the first 6 or 7 games, and then the Premier League just went, wait a minute, and whatever they done and dealt with him. Exactly the same as Sorry, I've just had to run up 3 flights of fucking stairs.
Yeah, breath. Right. She's not breathing for a
He
minute.
just come back in, just like grab the mic, mid conversation. Anyway, boys, F off out the way.
No, you swung around.
No,
and
he can't breathe.
Tony.
He's like, I can't breathe now.
You swung around and looked at me. And there was another striker I was thinking of as well who done the same thing. Mitrovic at Fulham.
Yeah, he didn't get a game.
I
this
actually
season.
like him.
He didn't get a game.
But he scored,
crazy.
yeah, good player. I like him. But he scored a lot of goals in the Championship and then came up to the Premier League.
Yeah, but he didn't do it at Newcastle, did he?
And no, he
do it at
didn't.
Newcastle.
He didn't. But and also to add another side to it, Patrick Bamford shit in the Championship.
Oh, Bamf.
Premier League's fucking awesome.
What are
isn't
you,
it?
about 18?
I don't know, he done all right, didn't he?
Bielsa and him have a very good relationship, so that helps.
Yeah, he didn't get put in the squad, did he?
Special
for England?
relationship.
Special relationship. But
Did he?
so
you know he's not in the squad, Bamford. He's not in the 33.
no, because
Is he not?
No.
still
No.
Leeds are still pretty unfashionable, aren't they?
No, you said, well, Calvin Phillips is in it.
Mate, Leeds are definitely not unfashionable. They're like the most loved team in the Premier League, and
I never-
Bielsa and Leeds can do no wrong.
I
I
like
never
Bielsa.
thought I'd ever
have him.
hear anybody say that Leeds are the most beloved team in
Yeah,
England.
but everyone likes a team who are rubbish.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
it's,
if they start winning the league every season, everyone hate them.
Yeah,
it's a style of play. It's a style of play.
It's because they're not a challenge to anyone. And they
Yeah.
play beautiful foot. They do it this way. They get the
Yeah.
ball on the deck, and isn't it beautiful? Great to see teams
like-
play
it's
like that.
like Everton.
And then they get dick 5-2. Like,
Yeah. It's like Everton. Everyone likes Everton, really.
well, I don't know.
They do, though. They do. Everyone likes Everton because, end of the day, they don't do any damage.
yeah, Everton are like
They get a good result every now and then.
They're just
and
like
that's
that bloke in the corner. You know, he's consistent. He ain't going to start trouble, but at the same time, you could probably start on him and ain't going to be a
So
problem.
how come no one likes
Mate,
Tottenham
what are you
then?
on about? Hang on a minute. No,
Just
hang
sit in
on.
the corner.
What are you on about?
Everton,
a man in the corner.
just sit in the
Who's
corner.
not going to start, but when he starts, he'll knock you out. Is that what you're trying to say?
Is that Everton?
Is that what you're trying to know? Because we're not would lose. Well, that's what I'm
I
saying.
never
to you.
said that. I said just.
I think that drink is. What's in that drink?
It's too much sugar in
It's
there.
relentless.
It's relentless. So you believe Ivan Toney?
No. Sorry, I was just
Might
I
not
was just
make
you get your breath back.
I was just catching the end of that conversation. But I don't think it's a prerequisite, big word, for for scoring goals in the Championship to necessarily mean you're going to come to the Premier League and do it. I mean, he might do.
So
yeah,
you,
I think he will.
He might do.
I won't get 25.
He might be.
He might get like 13.
Aaron. So straight back down.
Brentford. It's going to be tough for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be really tough for him.
And the third best team always gets relegated.
Yeah, it's
Depends
going
how
to
they-
be tough for him. Yeah,
Depends how they
and Watford and Norwich, the other two teams, they're going to be. Watford and Norwich are pretty strong
Watford
clubs.
want to go back down again. I reckon.
Yeah, I mean they're not strong clubs, but I don't know.
No,
yeah,
you know
Brentford.
what? I Norwich have run really well. To be fair,
Well, Norwich, last time they came up, they did this terrible thing. They came up Norwich, and the chairman just said, quite literally, "We're not going to spend any money.
Yeah.
We just
and then look at them now. It's better.
Yeah.
So they've got the parachute money, use
Yeah.
that money, and they're
Yeah.
back in the Premier League.
Yeah, we're not going to spend
So
any money. We're just going to go down again.
Yeah.
And
They've
see
still
you next
got
time.
Norwich have still got Pookie up front as well, haven't they? So
Yeah.
second bite of the cherry,
They
it might come.
they
with
still got
um,
Matey in charge. What's his name?
Yes, the German guy, Falker, Daniel Falker.
Something like that. Innit?
Yeah. We're after Max Aarons, which is their right back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Spurs were as well.
meant to be decent.
Apparently.
Meant to be a good player.
Ah.
But
Spurs are in for
I mean,
everyone.
we got Ben. So we got Ben Godfrey last season from them as well for like 25 minutes.
Hit or miss, Ben Godfrey.
Oh, fantastic player. He's like a young Rio Ferdinand.
He's got a bit, innit?
He has.
He's got a bit.
He's in the England squad.
He's in the 33 squad.
Yeah,
isn't
he won't make it, but it's a good experience. He's only
yeah,
young.
Yeah.
He's basically he's like 22, 23.
Yeah, good signing.
You know,
Godfrey.
and he's big, strong. He can play right back. He's played this season, like last season. He's played right back, left back, and centre back. So it's not too bad, is it?
Well, that makes him a good, what they like to call an industrial player.
But he's definitely
Moving about.
he's nailed on a centre back. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got everything.
Is there anybody who's missing from that squad that you think, oh, he hasn't made the team? How's he not made the team?
I think we're too good now for that, and I think we've got to not pick players this
I know
year.
Dyer hasn't made it at Spurs.
Yeah, he's rubbish.
No, I'm not saying he was
Yeah.
good. I was just
Yeah, no, he's rubbish. He won't. He wouldn't.
I don't think that's even a talking point, is
Yeah,
it? They're
it's
grasping at straws. Sorry, Dyer is not in the squad.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just.
If you want to
looking at
die
guys
up in
that
the squad, you got big problems.
Yeah.
No,
But we're not.
I'm just looking at players that were, some consistent names in the past that are now obviously looking and
Is there anyone in the squad, Pete, that's not there that you'd have then?
I'll be completely honest. I ain't even looked at the squad.
Bamford, maybe. Bamford out of the squad.
No.
Is he in it?
Who's he get ahead of?
He
doesn't get ahead of DCL. He doesn't get ahead of obviously Harry.
There's one player that I'd have in the squad.
You
Isn't
gonna say
in the
Tammy?
squad.
Tammy.
No.
Oh.
No, well, actually, two players. My first one is always Frank Lampard. God.
Yeah.
Okay, but the second
Bit
one,
old.
the second one, he's not available. Jamie Vardy. If he wasn't retired, I'd
Yeah,
always
but the last half of the season, he wasn't very good.
it's Jamie Vardy. I think he's got.
So I've got a question.
I like Jamie
I've got
Vardy.
a good England question for you. I don't really want to.
He's an Englishman who's not in the squad. Who I'd like in the squad.
I didn't want to touch on this question.
He loves the Sesh cast. We get him on.
Yeah, he loves the Sesh cast.
Oh, he's a geezer.
I would.
Shout out Jamie Vardy. Get him on. What?
I was just like. So one of the questions I was thinking just then was so. The England team looks strong. You're happy with that? I didn't want to bring
amazing.
this.
Really fucking strong.
Yeah. Now I didn't want to bring
strong.
this question up so soon. I was going to leave this till after next week's show because we're going right into the Euros.
Well, we'll do a Euro preview, won't we?
We will do Europe. But are you looking at this team now and going, where's the weak link? The gaffer?
Well,
the gaffer?
Yes.
It is,
Yeah,
isn't it? That's what I'm thinking. I mean, right
Yeah.
now, if you had Fab now,
Fab,
he'd
mate, you can't have
probably
Fab.
do all right.
Mate, he's the
But
worst
I'm
England
not-
manager ever
Yeah,
going.
we had Fab, and he didn't.
Bar Sven.
If we had
Bar Sven.
Graham Taylor was
Pete.
The Turner.
bless
yeah.
him.
if we had Bobby Robson taking this
Oh,
team.
Sir Bob. Yeah, geezer.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that.
Bobby
So,
Robson.
is there anybody you think right now who could take this team
Carlo.
to
Carlo.
winning the tournament?
I don't know. I sort of sit on the fence a little bit about it. I don't really know how.
Or are we being disrespectful to Gareth
How-
Southgate by saying that?
No.
Yeah, I don't.
He should have
think
beat
so.
Croatia.
Yeah.
I blame him for the Croatia game.
Yeah.
The semi-finals.
Yeah,
He,
He made some late
He set the
stops too
team.
late.
He set the team up wrong.
Yeah.
We should have won that game easily. Do you know that? And we would have been in the final.
And nothing's changed since then as well.
Yeah.
Is we've been playing friendlies and setting up with two holding midfielders,
Yeah.
setting up
it's
against,
rubbish teams.
against fucking San Marinos and having like six or seven defensive players in our team.
This is why. Sorry, this is
go on.
why. I think that thing we do your team.
Because it's the same as yours basically.
Yeah, but
yeah.
so what I done on my team was like I'll have one holding. Now I was saying to you, I said I'll have one holding player. Right, that's fine. So 3 at the back, and then 2 wing backs,
Yeah.
and then 1 holder, and then because I was gonna have Mount. I said, but I'd Mount in the centre with Declan Rice. But if it was a France who playing, I'd have a Rice and a Henderson if Henderson's fit. But you can't have like 2. You'll start with Calvin Phillips. I don't think Henderson's fit anyway. So you'll have Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
And he'll have Declan Rice in there against Croatia. That's our first game, right?
Yeah.
But they're not the Croatia of 2018. They're not the good.
Who
they're
weren't
not
nothing
good
special in
enough.
2018
They weren't.
either. We should
They
have beat
weren't.
them.
They were on form and they were well drilled.
should have beat 'em.
And they hung on a bit, but we should have well beat them. We should have set up more attacking and would have won the game. The only issue I've got is if we need to go and win a game, he got the tactical nous and also the balls to go and win the game. The only thing I'll say what's good about him, there's a couple of things. One, obviously, he's English, and obviously I prefer to have an English manager. The second most important thing is, I think if we get to penalties, I think we win penalties with him. Because I reckon, especially after the Man United game, like, every player is going to be doing penalties every training session. If they don't, then they're silly, because they should do. Every player should be training and hitting penalties after the training.
Yeah.
I think he's been working on it.
And they should. But I mean, intensely. If I was him, and don't forget, 96, he missed a penalty, which was heartbreaking. I thought I was going to cry.
Is
when
Kieran
it happened.
Trippier fit and well? And
Yes, good player.
right.
He played last week for
Is he
Atletico
in the?
Madrid.
Is he in the squad?
He's in the squad.
Good. Yeah.
But I would.
He's just won the La Liga.
Yeah, I know he has. But with Trippier, he's a good player. But I think, in my opinion, I'd have 3 at the back. I'd have Kyle Walker on the right of the 3 because he can play on the right of the 3. He's got pace and. Because Trippier is decent, but he's not got the pace as Walker, and we'll need that to cover to cover
Walker's
Trent.
He's had an unbelievable season.
Yeah, but to cover Trent, because the reason Liverpool, if you look at the stats, I saw some interesting stats about Liverpool and what teams play against them. They hit up their left, which is Liverpool's right, a lot. Do you know that? That's what we've been doing, going after that wing because Trent's higher up.
Yeah.
They get behind Trent very quickly.
Yeah.
And what they play is they play 2 centres at the back. Liverpool do, yeah. So they play a flat 2, and then Henderson covers in between, right? Obviously, Henderson and Fabinho,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But they've not been because they've been not fit, and they've not had Virgil with the pace to cover the last man. So when there's a last man, they've been getting found out. Was season before last they didn't. That's why they bought this new defender now, this new one from RB. He's very pacey, and they need that to cover Trent. Because so what I'm trying to say is, sorry, Pete. I know
No, I'm listening.
Had a big intake of air there. We need to. That's why I know he's going to talk. He goes, no. We need to cover Trent, and Trent is not a wing back, a right wing back. He is an attacking midfielder who plays and covers a certain area which we would class as right wing back, which is different. But if we do that, I think we're going to win it. But I mean, we don't know. Obviously, things can happen. But if we got to a Croatia type team, I'll be heartbroken because we lose to France. I think France got Mbappe, Pogba, because he plays for France. He doesn't play for Man United. He plays for France, doesn't he? You know, he makes an effort. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, they've got a real good team to go and win, and they've got experience of winning stuff. So if they beat us, you hold your hands up. They're a better team. But if we go out to a shit team, I'll be heartbroken because we need to go on. But the players we've got, it's like Grealish, even Mason Mount, right? I didn't really rate Mason Mount at the beginning of the season, but he's really come on. I think he's a really good player, and I actually fancy him to score tonight as well. Do you know that? That's a shout out to, you know, that's what I reckon he's going to score. But I can't see us not. The only way we're going to win is if we attack, basically. You know, all the players we've got, you know, and we've got the best striker in the world as well. Like, Kane slots a lot of stuff away.
But I think the problem is Grealish, Mount are going to end up on the bench. And
which is outrage.
And we're going to end up playing, and Rice will end up on the bench, so exactly that. We'll end up...
No, Rice will play.
Rice
will start.
Do you think with so many great young and so many players that can play so many different ways in this current England team, anything but success, it'll be very easy.
Well, the final. No, you can't say you've got to win it.
No.
Final,
no, I'm saying that.
That's a success.
I'm saying that when you've got so many players in it, you can only play 11 at any one time. So does that make it
only 11? Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. But what I'm saying is, because of the array of talent that's in the team, if anything goes wrong throughout the tournament, even if the squad, the 11 that are out there are strong, do you think it makes it very easy to say Southgate got that wrong? Because there's so much else going on.
If he plays attacking players, then people will applaud him for that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's going out there, not being scared, and going out there and going, do you know what? For the first time in God knows how long, we're going out there, and instead of going, well, if Mbappe's there, then we're going to have to play these two defenders and this and that. We're going to go out
with
there.
no fear.
We're going to go
win the
game.
Yeah, we're going to go out there and
can
you imagine being a defender and you're warming up and you're going, hang on a minute, they've got Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Mason Mount, Jack Grealish, like lads, we're in for a tough day today.
Yeah.
Like a tough
scares
day.
them.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh my God. And then it's like, well, all right, well, what if we can get past them, or we'll just push up a little bit? And he's like, oh, well, they got Trent and Kyle Walker and these guys, like, you know, going to be bombing in behind us. It's going to be like,
you know, like Mbappe is he plays in the wing for France, yeah. But if we have Trent, right, on that side, he's going to have to do some defending as well. So you've got to cover that. You can't have Mbappe just bombing it up every time and leaving space at the back, because it's going to get taken. You can have Grealish there and Trent. So they're going to have to come back. There's no way you can be all out. Whereas if we don't do that, they'll push forward. In the England teams of the past, I've never noticed, we've always sat back and allow teams to come onto us. And it's very hard then when we concede to then change the mentality of the game and get us on the front foot attacking. It just never happens. And I think we should, exactly. But we need to learn that. If we go out and die on our sword where we've attacked and we've lost it because of there's been better players and all that, but he doesn't play the better players and then we lose, and that's unforgivable, and he loses his job. You know what I mean? And I just think he's too cautious.
Like the best example,
he's too scared to lose than he's to go and win it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the best example of that is, a great example of that is back to the Tunisia game in the World Cup, when it took a Harry Kane 93rd minute header to beat him in the first game of the season. Remember, we watched it at an undisclosed pub in East Finchley High Street.
Undisclosed.
That time, which also served Thai food, which was very nice.
And they've stopped doing they've changed the restaurant.
We don't really go there anymore.
No, we don't go there anymore.
Yeah. We're not invited to that area no more.
Well, we are. We just don't go down there.
We got the other one that
we got bigger fish to fry.
The other one we've frequented.
We've gone for
got the one that
we've gone for Korean food now.
We got the one in.
Big shout out to the Little Dictator.
Yeah.
Lovely. If you're listening, check out the little Dictator on Deliveroo. It's bloody lovely.
Is that what it's called, Little Dictator?
The Little Dictator, yes, Korean.
Amazing.
The chicken is unbelievable.
Maybe we'll I don't know.
I reckon we should get some comps tonight for this.
I think we should. But you know what? To be fair, I did say to him we can do a pub cast sesh cast.
Pubcast, Seshcast.
Yeah. So you know the booth
live.
Because I said, you know where we were sitting last
time? The booth.
I said do it there, but I reckon the booth would be better. In the booth, right in there, and we have the TV there, and we can do a live podcast.
Listen, anyone,
you know the boxing's on or something like
anyone
that.
who's listening, any ideas for this podcast, the Seshcast? Any ideas or any brainstorm stuff? Just throw it at us. Put it on. We've now got we've got an Instagram page. We've set that up. Check out the website if you're probably listening through that. We're on SoundCloud, which is probably most likely where you're listening.
Yeah. We are doing videos.
YouTube
the first one was a video.
We are working on production in YouTube, so
it's hard.
It's ever expanding. Yeah. It's ever growing.
We'll be there, so you can send us some information.
We're doing the videos. 2 minutes is £10. 10 minutes is £40.
What's that?
Are they different videos? This is a different podcast.
No, it's not the porn.
Oh, no, it's
not Porncast.
No, it's OnlyFans.com.
Yeah.
OnlyFans. That's it, OnlyFans. I reckon give you about 2 or 3 years from now, Paul will be so famous, he'll be doing like live PAs at Faces and...
No, you know what I'll be doing? You know them like them £10 like happy birthday.
Send us your message on Memo.
Yeah, send your message. Give me a £5 and I'll go, hello, happy birthday.
Hi, this is Paul.
Yeah, I'm Paul.
And you're watching Dave.
Yeah, is that happy birthday, Dave? You're a big fan. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, I'm alright, mate. I'm alright, mate. I do alright. I'm okay.
We can only dream. One day we can get there.
Talking about ever expanding stuff and ever growing, and England at the same time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what could be the ever expanding array of English talent at Manchester City. There's talk of Grealish. Man City coming in for Grealish.
Yeah, because you know it's for sale there, don't you? You know they're selling Riyadh is for sale, and Sterling apparently.
I can see Sterling going.
And not only not only just.
Well, he just signed a new deal though, or was he going to sign a new deal? I remember reading something about it recently. This is maybe being the seat.
Mahrez.
No. I need to
I'm surprised
Raheem Sterling.
I'm surprised by Mahrez. He
had to go big games.
Yeah,
I think he'll start tonight.
Yeah, I'm surprised by Mahrez. There's a nice little bet I saw earlier on actually with Mahrez. Mahrez
2 shots on target.
Mahrez to score, both teams to score, Jorginho and Diaz to be carded was something like 150 to 1 or something.
Paul would tell you that's too long.
It's too long.
He don't like them ones. I throw them ones at him and he goes, as soon as I say, them to win, 20 booking points, this guy to get a goal. No, he goes, fuck off, don't get it's too long.
Lads,
going for the gods.
It's worth a quid. This is not financial advice.
That's my, I always say that
That's
one.
what I was known as a hallelujah bet.
And worth a nugget. 320 to 1 ones. I do them every now and again. You go.
It's worth a quid.
I had 2
but they love you.
I saw a mad one.
Who else?
2 headers with Eric Dyer in one of the games. It was two Jesse Lingard headers because he ain't going to header. It was like 400 to 1.
Yeah, he's not head the ball.
Have you seen? They come through on Twitter occasionally where lads have had these like 333 to 1 sort of thing about the most random shit, and they've gone, I'll have a bit of that and thrown a tenner on it. What are you doing?
You can't beat Leicester City 5,000 to 1. Anyone ever bet that? Anyone beats that bet? Send it in to us and we'll put it on our Instagram page.
My uncle used to always do Everton for FA Cup back in the day. I don't know if he still does it anymore.
I should do one in the year of the 1. I should do year of the 1 ones, but
back in the day, used to do that. But that's about it, really.
Yeah.
But yes,
the only winners in the betting game are the betting companies.
Yeah. When the fun stops, stop.
That is true.
Oh yes, very mature.
And tap out to timeout. Shout out to tap out to timeout.
Shout out to Jeff letting us know all this stuff.
Jeff,
big Jeff. So my name's Jeff. So yes, not only Grealish, but Harry. There's also talk of them trying to get Grealish and Kane. So imagine you got Sterling if he still stays.
Sterling's going. They want to keep Sterling and get Grealish in.
I don't think
because they got Phil Foden there.
Because he runs weird. Is that what it is, Sterling? With the little hands. He kind of tiptoes. It's like he's always waiting for someone just to clip his ankle. Oh.
You know he's got T-Rex hands.
He has. He's a T-Rex. He's like a little velociraptor just running around,
isn't he?
Trying to make his way out of Jurassic Park with his little hands. But all right, so you lose him, but you're still going to have, you'll have Kyle Walker in there. Basically, got Spurs in there. You'll have Kyle Walker in there. I mean, if you had Grealish, Foden,
Phil is the one,
and Harry Kane up top with, you know what I mean? Is this a team you're looking at? Oh,
got Kevin there,
Kevin as well.
Sexy.
It's a frightening. He's a
sexy footballer
with Pep as the manager.
Pep,
Jesus,
it's got a bit. It's
talent there.
And they should do because I mean. Raheem's a good player, but he's how old is he now? He's got to be like pushing 30-ish.
Yeah, but that's young though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but he's a lot. But he started playing football. He was like, it's like Rooney. He passed his best.
Owen's the great example.
And Owen as well. Yeah,
we had said this about people pushing past.
So he started. Don't forget, he was playing at 17 at Liverpool, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So
I think I think Sterling is a. What I was going to say earlier.
Go for a wee.
Yeah, don't have to keep saying that.
All right, just check make sure that's on.
We could just go.
Just nip your head around and check that's on as well.
Oh,
Because I didn't ask Aaron to do because I left it on the other side. So just make sure it's
Check
it's on.
that thing.
So if it's off, it's like
We've had the thumbs up.
Yeah.
We're live.
yeah. Please don't say.
Have you got the code to get back in?
Because we can't hear you.
Yeah, we ain't going to hear you, Pete. Take your phone. It's on the phone.
No, take your phone. Don't be a retard.
Oh, Pete, he's struggling here, isn't he?
I know it
Mate,
happens.
right, Pete's banned from relentless energy drinks.
You know, this morning, so I made him
apart.
breakfast. I'll wait for him to discuss breakfast. I made some breakfast earlier.
Oh,
for
yeah.
him. Anyway, but he's around mine, and I said, right, you need to get this wire for me, this thing, yeah. And I made him take pictures of it, and he still got it wrong.
How come he was with each other earlier on, and then he's ended up being half an hour late to the podcast as well?
I have no fucking idea.
What's he been up to?
So I sent him out to go and get something.
Oh,
And that was it. And then I had a workout indoors. I went for a run.
I
A
think
quick half an hour, and then I done a few weights in that, but not many weights. There's not many weights there, but there's a few bits. Like it's more bird weights.
got the blood moving.
Yeah, well,
got the blood moving.
30 minutes on a treadmill
Did you
gets me
not
going.
optimize body weight and stuff like that by doing chin ups?
No, I don't do chin ups.
No.
No,
Pull ups.
I'm not into pull ups or chin ups or push ups or.
But
I go to the gym. We go to the gym, and then
well,
I
the gym.
Yeah, but I actually work out. You probably don't work out as much, but you know, I like to do a workout. I've been all week. I've been really good this week.
Good stuff. Feeling good for it.
Yeah, I feel wicked.
Feeling all right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling easy, and the body one feels good.
Feeling
But
all right?
that's what the yin yang though. We had a discussion earlier, didn't we?
Feeling
We need to balance it out.
Moderation.
Moderation.
No, moderation. Integration.
Yeah, you got to moderate the integration now as well.
Moderate.
We don't want too many of
The
these.
integrational
But
balance.
you know, tonight I'm literally going to watch the game and go home.
Yeah, same.
I'm literally. Oh, you got. So everyone who's listening, he's got his missus is away now. So I think you're gonna have a few beers tonight, yeah. When the cat's away.
Look, if obviously I'm a big Chelsea fan. If Chelsea win tonight, then of course I'm gonna have to celebrate. And
Yeah.
if they lose, then I'm gonna have to drown my sorrows.
Yeah, it's true.
You know. Look, it's not.
I get what you're saying there.
The thing is, it's not every year your team gets the Champions League final. It's more like every 5 or 6 years.
It's true. Well, if you're Everton, it's never.
You got to make the most of it. You know.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Spurs entering this UEFA conference?
It's Mickey Mouse, isn't it?
It's Mickey Mouse, isn't
Like,
it?
It's Mickey Mouse.
Have you seen anything about it? Like the layout? Is it going to be on Thursday night? Is it a group thing?
I'm guessing
I've not seen much about it, if I'm honest.
Well,
like
there's a little slot that's like Thursday afternoons at like 3:30 or something
We
like
can
that.
ask Pete this question, because Pete's a Spurs fan.
I've seen some of the clubs that are involved in it, and it's obviously
some
not the.
shit
Yeah, I
teams.
mean, it's like right moody clubs.
Europa. What's about the conference, Pete? Basically,
I'm back, yes.
What's your thoughts about the Conference League?
Do you know what? I hadn't even looked into it because it just
Yeah,
sounds
I've
like another
not.
novelty joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not. I'm actually going to look into it now.
Oh, you're right about them stairs. Woo.
It's a bit funny.
Do you want to go back to you in about 5 minutes?
Woo.
The thing is, you come out the box, don't you, Pete? And you're like, I better get up to the boys. I've been quick. I better get up there. You're like, oh. He's like, they got to stop. And then there's more stairs.
I want to see, what I'm trying to look for is like the layout or something, like how it, like layout and like, it must be, there's not much information out there, is there?
I'm back.
You're back.
So,
You know who
Right.
else could-
Sorry, can I just,
Go on, sorry.
Can I read what it is? So, the UEFA Europa Conference League. The format will see 8 groups of 4 teams, followed by a round of 16, a quarter-final and semi-finals. Also, an additional preliminary knockout round we played with a round of 16 teams, ranked second. So, second place, you can get in back in the back door.
So it sounds basically like the normal format minus the group of 16. And do you saying it's got a group of 16?
It's got it's basically what it is. It'll see 8 groups of 4 teams. So there's 8 groups. So A, B, C.
How many groups is there now?
Well, no, the Europa League's still going, isn't it?
This is the first. This
This is the-
conference
this is
thing.
the conference.
First, it's going to be the inaugural year next year.
Oh, hang on. This is Europa. Hang on. I think.
That's the Europa League. you're
Hang
discussing.
on a minute. I think.
8
you know
groups
what?
of 4. That's
I think. You know what? This is fucking Wikipedia.
It's going to have to be pretty similar to that.
Look, they
They're a bit
fucked it
behind.
right. That's the Europa League. Hang on.
That's the Europa.
Yeah, but
I was gonna
why
say.
ain't it going to be the same as that?
I don't know.
It's
Hang
gonna-
on.
surely it's going to be the same, isn't it?
Just keep it, Eric. Don't even change the name from Europa. Make the UEFA Cup. I loved it.
No,
The
but
final will
Pete,
be-
This is the 3rd tournament, though, isn't it?
This is the 3rd tournament.
This is the new one, the Mickey Mouse Cup.
Who's
they
in
called
it?
You.
You're in it.
Why are we in it?
Spurs are in
Because
it.
you're shit.
What's it look like? What's the trophy look like? Is it nice?
England.
You know, it's like a bag of shit frozen.
Why are you worried about what it looks like?
That's what
ain't going to be
matters.
nowhere near North London, is it?
That's what Matt.
Well, hang on. Europe's tournament.
So it's going to have some real shit teams.
The finals in Albania, which is pretty bad if it's in Albania. I like
Albania. Oh no, wait, Spurs are in a third tier European.
The place is a bit of a shit.
I do not associate myself with that comment.
Yeah, no, I love Albanians.
I do not associate myself with that. I'm not saying that,
but Albania is a little bit front line. The city itself.
I thought we had a Europa spot. So you're telling me we're in a third tier European tournament?
Pete, it's called the European Conference League.
Where the final was in Albania. I'm excited already.
That's what I'm saying to you.
But there's two.
I'm not thinking out Albanians or Albania.
No.
It's just like it. But the city's a bit front line. You wouldn't get the Champions League final there, would you? Let's put it that way.
We got England.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And England have got two representatives in this Conference League.
Who's that?
We've got Tottenham Hotspurs and Whetstone Wanderers.
Who is the other one?
Come on, boys! Is it just bring it home, eh? Bring it home.
Is it just Tottenham?
It's just
in Liechtenstein, 3 teams qualify from Liechtenstein.
Oh, God, who are they?
Well, I don't fucking know. It doesn't say here.
Does it actually tell you who's qualified for this tournament?
I've seen something already.
Please, someone dig it up.
And it was like, I think the only other team that I recognised on there was like Sligo Rovers.
Oh, mate, if we don't win this. Do you know the thing is, I don't want to win it. You know why I don't want to win it?
You get mugged off though.
Because it'll be Audi Cup talk again. Oh, it's the Audi Cup. You know,
I think the Audi Cup's more prestigious than this.
Probably is.
I'm just trying to find it. It's like you know what? You know how rubbish when it's hidden on the website.
Daniel Levy don't even want to be in it. He don't even want to pay for the flights. Well, trust me.
He'll sack the manager.
Yeah.
Do you know?
If the manager gets through to the next round, you're getting sacked.
Get to the final, you're out, mate.
I'd play kids in it. I'd play kids in that. 100%. No, there ain't no. Oh, but yeah, it's a trophy. It's not a trophy that anyone identifies. Forget it. Just play the kids. Dade and Scarlett will have a field day there.
Can I just add something?
Yeah, by the way, what I said was right, by the way. I did read that right. It is 8 groups of 4 teams, then a round of 16 and quarterfinals.
I'd love to know what the Tottenham home and away season ticket holders are thinking of this, because if I was a Chelsea season ticket holder, home and away, I'd be well excited about being a part of this tournament. Here's the reason why. Because you're going to go to some mad grounds, like how good is a lads' weekend away at some moody, Polish city or something like that, which you've never been. It's great fun. The reason why I'm saying this, because you're going to give me that look, because being Everton, you're not in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Ask Chelsea supporters, right? United and the rest of the guys will say the same. We're fucking bored of going to the Nou Camp. Like
bloody hell. I wish I felt that way.
We've done it. We've done it.
I mean?
Yeah, have a look at the stats about how many times Chelsea have played Barcelona in the last 20 years.
Probably not as much as Arsenal.
Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? So for the match game fans, phone in 0800 111 9898. All right, with Bill Payer's permission.
So
Hibs are in it.
Hibs.
I was just trying to find the teams who qualified. I don't know why. You know what it is? There's no information on it, which I just find.
I don't even want to be in it.
Unbelievable.
I don't want to be.
It's on the dark web.
All that matters to me is who's in charge at the time, and it sounds hopefully like he's coming back.
Oh,
Poch.
We haven't mentioned him at all.
Poch. No,
is he coming? I don't think he's coming. Is he?
Are you happy? Pete?
I don't think PSG are going to release him, allow him.
I think the ones. Well, they should be sacking him.
What, for even talking to us?
No, not talking to Spurs. He didn't win even the league.
Yeah, we know the one horse race.
The players they've got. Yeah. They got one horse race. Like basically team. They should win that every year, which they do. It. They won it 9 out of the last 10 years for starters.
Yeah.
And then he comes, they don't win it, and then they go and get to the final of the Champions League. So they're going backwards. So why would they keep him?
Well, the 2 teams that made it to the final of the Champions League are probably better. Anyway,
yeah, I know that, but but it's not. Well, they got to the final last season, didn't they? So if he's not getting to the final again,
the progress is...
The team's regressing.
Yeah.
So you got an issue there. Plus, he won the cup though, didn't he?
He can come back to Spurs. I can't wait. I love him.
Yeah, but he won the French Cup, didn't he?
He won two French
Cup,
domestic trophies.
Yeah, one's like the
the European Conference, is it?
The Champions League.
Wait, hang on.
No, the Champions League. Sorry,
It looks like that's the trophy for it.
Is that it?
That's basically UEFA Cup.
It's the UEFA Cup with a bit more ventilation.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I don't want to win that.
A bit more ventilation.
You know what? I'll mug you off if you win it.
It'd be cringy to win it.
I'll mug you off if you don't win it.
I'll be in the pub out my nut after we've won it. We've won another European trophy.
I don't know how true this actually is.
Do you know what? We will win it. Do you know why? Do you know why we're going to win it? And I'll tell you why. Because it's the first time this has come about, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the inaugural.
We always do things. Tottenham always do things first. First domestic double of the 20th century. Yeah, we did that. First team to win in Europe, to win a trophy in Europe. Yeah, we did that. So we'll probably win that.
Right,
and then
here it
we'll
is.
gloat about it in 57 years' time.
Right, okay. Nations ranked 1 to 5, which is like all the major nations, will have one team. Nations ranked 6 to 15 will have two teams.
So who are the other 4 teams?
Well, I'm telling you. Just hang on a minute.
Okay,
Yeah?
sorry.
'Cause I'm trying to talk. and
I didn't know you had a list.
I'm on the laptop reading it. Right.
Pete,
So-
do you want me to tell you? Shall I jump in now?
Oh, he's
I'm
jumped
going
in
on.
on you now.
I'm going on.
1971 gold.
What's that?
Go-
Oh. Right. So nations ranked 6 to 15 get 2 teams. Nations ranked 16 to 50 will have 3 teams.
Jeez.
So like nations like ranked 50 are gonna who the fuck are they?
It's like Seychelles.
They should call this the
They
TK.
got 3
Hang on,
teams.
hang
in
on,
it.
hang
It's
on.
the
but it's
TK Maxx Cup. It's just
the-
randomness.
But it's obviously a European trophy. Are there even 50 countries in Europe? There's like 152
Hang on.
countries in the world.
Nations ranked 51 to 55 get 2 teams.
That's Scotland, isn't it?
So that's like Liechtenstein and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like there's no real
Luxembourg.
teams.
Luxembourg.
It's a shocker, isn't it? Really.
So who are the 4 teams from the other major 5?
I have no idea. It doesn't say.
Tottenham.
Didn't answer my question.
Tottenham from England.
Yep.
FC Union from Germany.
Right.
Rennes from France.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Roma.
Oh,
Oh,
Roma.
Jose's
From
coming
Italy.
back to get us.
He's got to be. He'll win that.
Is it a Tottenham Roma final? Oh, he
Oi.
will. That is it.
But it doesn't have the Spanish representatives on here.
Put your money. Who came fourth? Who came 7th in the La Liga? That's probably
7th. That was the lot. United just played Villarreal.
Villarreal.
You put it- so you were-
but they
down
won
one
it.
then.
They
Oh.
won it, didn't they? So who finished 8th? Wasn't it like Ibiza or something like that?
Tenerife.
Oh, I tell you what, if Everton played that
Oh, yeah,
FIFA,
I'm
like,
going to that game.
Babe,
Oh.
I've got to go. It's a massive game.
Spurs versus Ibiza. What are you taking? Your ticket? Your Spurs shirt? No, I took me shorts.
Sure.
I'm getting wet.
It's a bit session.
Very wet.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to see the odds of the winners. Like Europa Conference League odds.
It didn't have nothing on here a minute ago.
Right,
That'd be amazing.
They're
You're having
waiting,
your
they're waiting for the draw.
You're
aren't
having
they?
your pre-drink for your European football game at Café Del Mar and then rolling down to like Es Paradis. Where are you off to next? The football. I love it. It sounds brilliant.
You know what?
I'm just going DC 10 straight after.
Have they got a team?
Ibiza.
I think they have.
Yeah,
haven't
Ibiza have got a team.
Didn't
they play someone half
No, I
famous?
think they got into. Did they get into the La Liga this season or last season?
I think they did.
I think they got promoted.
I thought they were there.
FC.
Or was it Mallorca who
You
come back
ruined the
up
dream.
one
Nah,
for a
not
little while?
Mallorca.
You ruined the dream there.
UD Ibiza it was.
Yeah.
UD.
And was they in the Liga?
They played Barcelona, didn't they, in the cup?
Was that a cup game?
Yeah, remember Barcelona? Yeah,
Ah.
I remember now. Barca, I remember. But you know, if you're a Barca fan and you're like, babe, it's a cup. I go to cup games.
It's the biggest game in the
You know I
season.
go to cup games. Do you know what I mean?
Got to go to Ibiza.
Yeah, so
Ibiza FC. It's got a bit in it.
Who won that game?
Barca won it, wouldn't they? Barca beat it 2-1. And then I'm just looking.
sounds tight.
Close game.
Sounds like a tight game.
I think, but
Close game.
that
Messi was a bit hungover.
Oh, Messi.
That's their way of winning.
Yeah, exactly. They
Is
took the hospitality.
Messi? I think he's going to stay, isn't he?
I don't think he can go. Can he?
Yeah, he's not on the contract.
Is he not?
No.
Because he did you see the last game of the season he never played in? So basically Barcelona had nothing to play in, nothing to play for in the last game. So Messi was just like, I'm just going to start my holidays early. Like,
Really?
I don't think there's any player has that much power over one club as Messi does.
Wouldn't
with-
you want to say goodbye
with
to everyone
Barcelona.
though? And
Well, there's no one there, is there?
Yeah.
of course, what? Yeah, no one there over there.
No
yeah.
fans, is there?
Well,
They've got no fans. No, so I mean, in the day, it depends if he's going to stay, but if they might, it works both ways. It might go to him because he gets like obviously a big appearance money. So save the club some money. But
Yeah,
he
I think
finished early.
I think it all flared up, didn't it? A few months ago, maybe
Yeah.
about Messi leaving. Where
Yeah.
is he going to go?
It's quite
and-
my down, isn't it?
Yeah,
now?
because you know what that was? That was Messi just being like, "We're going to leave unless you pay us a fucking shitload of money."
I mean, how much more money do you need? He's on
Well-
half. He's on like no. Is he on £1 million a week?
He's on. I think
He's
he's probably
not.
on. He's probably on more than that. to
He
be
is.
honest.
Shut up.
So,
you know what?
who's-
I'll go to Google.
Who's the Bayern Munich lad, Alaba, right?
Jody Alaba.
Joey Alaba, who's just signed for Real Madrid, right? Who's on net 400 grand a week.
Yeah, because he's a good player, isn't he?
Is he that good though?
No, but
I mean,
it's free transfer.
I mean,
free
Madrid,
transfer,
and Perez and that have been getting the old violins out and saying, "Oh, we're skin and this." That's why we're about to do this European Super League, and then they're signing Alaba for 400 grand a week. Don't forget, Bale's still on their books, isn't he?
he is. But, well, I don't know what's going
hang
on.
on, I feel sorry for him. His net, which he takes home, is £500,000 a week. English.
£500,000 pounds.
But I imagine that's just a basic.
Well, You've
So
actually
it'll be on other
That's
bits as well.
paid for by the club.
you've actually
Yeah,
bought
That's,
some
that's
cup.
forgetting about
That's- yeah.
Adidas or Nike.
Yeah,
and,
and
all
also
the
no
rest of
bonuses. That's your net
Yeah.
weekly wage.
Yeah, and
so you'll have goals, you'll have appearance money.
Yeah,
you'll have all that as
and
well.
the £100 in his boots at the end of each game. You know,
Yeah,
boot money.
boot money. Yeah,
Boot
you'll
money.
get a bit of boot money.
You just mentioned something there. Actually.
Yeah, go on.
The talk of Gareth Bale retiring.
No, is he?
Have you not heard
Oh,
this?
professional golfer, isn't he, Gareth
They're
Bale?
talking about Gareth Bale actually retiring from the game now at the end of this
Is he
season.
just trolling?
He's 31.
Is he not trolling the Madrid fans? Because it's the sort of
So,
thing he would
Where
do.
does he? What would he? I mean, let's say he doesn't go back to Real Madrid.
He's still been decent this season. I
Hang
think.
on.
Where does he go?
I've got a question for you.
Everton looked
Right.
at him, didn't they?
When a player retires, how long is he on gardening leave for? Because no one's going to buy him, are they, Gareth Bale? No one's going to pay his wages. So if he goes, right, Madrid, I've retired, mate, and they go, all right, contract's ripped up. Can he then turn around a week later and go, I've had to think about it, I'm coming out of
Yeah,
retirement?
no, there'll be
It's
something
got to be a
like
12-month or...
that. It'll probably be you can't be registered to any other club in your contract. If you depends on like the player, because I'm not even funny. If you're a Barnet player and you go, yeah, I'm retiring, you're not worth nothing, right? But if you're obviously a Bale, but financially he's not worth anything.
So
is he?
Torres
To,
has just said he's
Madrid.
going to come out of retirement.
How old's Torres now? He's going to be 40, isn't he?
I don't know, but he benches about 140. Geezer's a
Massive, isn't he?
beefcake.
Yeah, he's-
Where is it? Where is it?
Strong.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's not going to go back and play for like Barcelona.
Well,
Ibiza.
Tottenham need a striker.
They do.
So-
Any more news on that?
No, as far as I know, it's all kind of gone a bit quiet.
Is it really?
So
Well, Man City have got a Champions League final to be playing in.
yeah, and let's
so
see what happens
Yeah.
after that.
Man City and
Yeah.
Chelsea. I
But
think he's sitting there. What it is, Harry Kane is currently in Portugal, right? He's in Porto, and he's standing in the middle of the tunnel with his pen. And whoever wins tonight, he's going to follow into the changing room and go,
probably is.
I'll have a bit of that. Where do I sign?
Yeah, it's interesting because all we ever hear is, you know, where's Kane going? Poch this, Poch that. But there are two major big names in world football that are now, I think their contracts are up. They're out of work. Zinedine Zidane and Conte. What's Conte? He's
Yeah, he's left.
He's left.
Milan.
so. Are we resting on? Are there clubs out there in the Premier League that are just should be moving towards them guys? I mean,
Yes.
no
Yeah.
disrespect. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're thinking, go out. Are you sitting on Arteta still, or are you going to be going, go out
Right.
and get
No,
Conte?
you'd get rid of Arteta straight away.
Every club,
Because this
Conte.
ain't big enough for Arsenal.
every club in England should be moving for Conte that aren't Manchester City, Liverpool, or Chelsea.
And Everton.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, Conte's a step up from Ancelotti.
No.
Yes.
No.
Well, where did Arsenal? Where did Everton finish?
10th.
10th. But we
Can
won.
that-
They were
Well,
top.
like
They were top of
seventh
the
all
league at one
season.
point.
Can that be improved on?
Yeah.
We've got-
Well, what we're going to do
Is that a successful
the plan,
season?
Well, I'll tell you what the plan is now. Listen, it's a long. It's not a one season thing. This is a plan that Everton have got right under Marcel Brands and Ancelotti. Next season, the plan is to get. They're going to have Ben Godfrey at the back, and they're going to probably try to get that Kubali. He's 50 million quid from Napoli. Right.
Yeah,
It
I
looks-
know what you mean.
it
I
looks
know
like
what
we're
you
gonna
mean.
get
him.
Yeah. There's rumours
Yeah.
what I'm hearing, we're going to get him, right?
Yeah.
It was like, I think Spurs looked at him at one point. I think everyone's looked at him, and Chelsea looked at him. Liverpool looked at him.
Tottenham paid for his flight to come over probably, and
Probably, and then like pay for the and then
they're
pay
nice
for that.
like that,
and
Tottenham.
yeah, they got
Cheers.
hotel and all that. That they do that. They love that. So we hopefully get him, and then we need a right winger. Who do we get linked with last week? There's like some good players we've been linked with, but we got I can't remember who it was now, but we've been linked really well with because we need a right winger and a right back. We'll get Max Aarons in, we'll get Kubali in. And then we need a new right winger because Iwobi can't play for Everton ever again. He's terrible, as we all know. We discussed
Iwobi.
this already, but we know he's rubbish.
We love Iwobi. I
Yeah.
love you, Iwobi.
Yeah, so we get.
Hang on, I love you at Everton.
Yeah, just
I love you there.
not at Chelsea, but I hope we get 3 new players in them positions. I think next season we kick on. We probably finish about 6th.
So you wouldn't take Conte?
No,
Zidane?
no,
Allegri?
no,
Poch?
no way.
Oh,
Klopp?
out.
Yes, you know he's Liverpool manager.
Tuchel?
No,
Brendan?
not yet. Tuchel, Brendan. I probably would actually. I like Brendan.
Really?
But
Yeah.
if somebody said to me right now, I really could. I love Poch. I want him to come back. I really do because I just love. I love the guy for his relationship with Tottenham. But if somebody said to me now, you can have a pick of a bunch. Brendan Rodgers is the guy I look at and think he would play some really good, exciting football at Spurs, and I'd like to think he'd have a little bit more finances, and you got the stadium and everything. I just really think he is a guy that could push it forward. But I know I just see your face there. You've got a little bit squinty, but it's all down to how much leash Daniel Levy gives a manager to do what they want to do.
He doesn't give much.
Not
much at all.
Not a lot. He's got one of those very small, springy leads, and he doesn't let you.
Very springy.
Yeah, he doesn't let you on the 8 metre lead, but you can just go off and have a sniff at a tree. Yeah. He likes to keep you on a real tight leash, and you probably don't have much control. Hence why you've got half of the German managers and the rest of Europe going, thanks for no thanks.
Loads of clubs managers turned him down, didn't they?
Yeah,
loads of them did. That's the problem.
It's a shame because it tarnishes everything.
Well, it was all over the Mourinho. He cancelled the contract before the final just to save 10 million quid. But then, I mean, aren't you looking at the Wolves guy, Nuno? Is he coming in now?
I like the idea of Nuno for a bit.
He's left, isn't he? He's
not when I'm looking at what else is out there, Conte and Poch, they're the two now that I'm looking at and thinking, if you get Poch back, that's great, because I love Poch and everything his history and everything he does with Spurs. He does love the club. Has he still got some stuff to improve? Yeah, but so has the club. So, let's continue where we left off. Hopefully, Levy's looking and going, hopefully, to get Poch to come back, it's not going to be a case of, back here and same as it was. Poch is going to go, no way. You've got to change the way it was. You've got to allow me more freedom to run the team, manage the club, manage the footballing element of the club the way I want to. There's no way he'd go back and go, oh yeah, same as before. Yeah. I'm just a coach. He's not going to have that. He's going to say, I want to be able to pick my players. Tell your matey, it's not down to him anymore. I want to pick these players. One of the signings I know that was directly Pochettino's choice was Son. And he was being a sensation for Spurs for the value of money. So let Poch pick who he wants to buy, and then to see what happens. Don't let anybody else get involved. There's nothing wrong with saying, I identify this player, this is the guy I want. And the club saying, you know what, brilliant player, but we just can't make it work financially. That's fine. And then let Poch have a second. Let him go out and make. Don't tell him this is who we're buying and you got to work with this bloke. That's not how it should work. You got to I know we all sit there and say directors of football, and that's all part of the plan. But I do believe that it should be a case of manager identifying players, and then the board and everyone around him going, right, we'll do our best to bring this guy in. If we come up short, we'll look at some other options. But it should not be managers being told, this is who we're going to buy because he's great value for money and he'd be an asset because he's 23, and by the time he's 27, he's going to be worth that.
Why shouldn't it be like that?
Because I think
why shouldn't Daniel Levy?
Because I think you need to go by the blueprint of the most successful club in English football, Manchester United, and you knew you had a manager there that just said, "Listen, mate, you're not telling me who I'm playing. I buy the players."
Well, that'll never happen again, by the way.
So hang on.
But you're saying, isn't that Pep? Do you think there's somebody at Manchester City that's saying to Pep, "You have to play this bloke"? Do you think? Because I reckon Pep will go, no, like. So
you mean but
the Manchester City?
No, how Spurs do it? Levy picks the players basically.
Yeah, but this is why we.
I know that.
This is why we.
But Man City have like 3 or 4 people. It's down to the sporting director and Pep.
So
Pep doesn't pick all the players.
But that's how it should work. No, but Pep must. If Pep was looking at a plan that he just said, "Nah, I kind of know this guy, or I know what the way he is ain't going to work for me." Stuff like that. It's all good. It's fine if something goes wrong where a player comes in and you thought he was something and that he isn't. That happens every now. But Spurs, there's so many misses in the players that are coming in. It's not like hit and miss now. It's like miss, 1 hit, then another 4 misses, then another hit, then another 4. You know what I mean? It's too much of a turnover of players that are not hitting that kind of the level. Hitting that standard that we're looking for in that signing. And I think that's where. We Spurs need to change the way they conduct how they approach signing and selling players,
which they won't.
I want to pick you up.
Well, then that's why they'll come up short every time.
Pete, I want to pick you up on the Daniel Levy should focus on the blueprint of Manchester United and Sir Alex Ferguson, but he's focused on the blueprint of the most successful English team of the 21st century, which is Chelsea, which is chop and change their manager. So if I'm Daniel Levy and it's my club and it's my interests, right? And he doesn't work for Tottenham, he works for ENIC, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so he works for Joe Lewis and works for ENIC. Why should he give Pochettino free reign, right? I'm not saying free reign. Or as good as free reign to one person to go and spend all of their money on the players that he likes, knowing that it's a great possibility that in 3 years' time or in 2 years' time, Real Madrid Real Madrid job becomes available. Pochettino goes, thanks for that. I've had a great time last 2 years. I'm fucking off to Madrid. And then who's left there? Daniel Levy picking up the pieces.
Holding the baby.
Holding the baby with all these players that Pochettino bought because they fitted into my way of thinking
So
when they weren't commercially viable, which is what Premiership football clubs have to be.
But you shouldn't be able to. I mean, the knowledge, the way of thinking that you win a league because you've bought players that are commercially viable, that's ridiculous. I mean, it should come down to.
I mean,
if you had a football team and they had 11, 21-year-olds and you're wondering, and they've all got talent and you're wondering why they can't achieve something, you'll be sitting there going, well, why aren't they winning nothing? What do they lack? They lack experience. Oh, well, we don't buy players that are 30 years old. You know, that shouldn't be the way it works. The way it should work is you buy the right man for whatever the missing element that you feel that's in your squad. You know, you've always been able to at Chelsea to be able to buy young, fresh talent because you always had this old guard. Well, always an old guard, but you had this old guard of players like in the latter part of. You had like Drogba, you had Terry, but you had these guys that had kind of been there and done that. You know, I remember when Arsenal bought Mesut Ozil, I thought, what a great idea. I mean, you know, long term, everyone might go, bloody hell, what a, you know.
Mesut Ozil was a cheat code when Arsenal got him. He was a cheat code.
In what sense?
He was that good. It was like playing FIFA on easy level.
But this
for
is
the
what
first
I mean.
half a season.
They had
he was
all this
ridiculously good.
They had all this young talent. What did they lack? They lacked a guy who had been there and done that. This is a guy who won.
Who signed Ozil?
I can't recall.
Arsene.
I do not recall.
Arsene Wenger.
I do not recall that.
Done everything.
Arsene Wenger. So you just said you wanted to follow Manchester United's blueprint under Alex Ferguson, which was what Arsenal did with Alex Wenger. Where Arsenal now?
Yeah, but so what you're saying that the demise of Arsenal falls firmly on the Mesut Ozil?
No, it falls on Arsene Wenger.
It's true.
Not the board making the transition from.
No, but Wenger could have won the league a few times, but his stubbornness to buy a good goalkeeper, two, a couple of leaders in the team, and some good centre backs, which is big, which is tantamount to a crime because he could have won a few.
Do you remember when Roman came in at Chelsea and the first thing or one of the things that everyone would say, "You going for a piss?"
No,
right.
No.
So Roman coming at Chelsea and one of the first things that everyone was saying. Money doesn't buy success. And Wenger was like, yes, money doesn't buy success. Success is created from a team, from culture and everything like that. All sorts of stuff that I also agree with. And Wenger was so stuck in his ways and would not change his beliefs that was their demise.
There you go.
I'm left.
On that note, shall we... anything else?
Should we go to the pub, lads, and have a jolly good night?
Well, let's finalise this with the up. Well, let's just talk about because hopefully this is going to be put out just prior.
It'll be done tonight.
If we could do this just prior to the final, which is in a couple of hours, Champions League final. Let's summarise this.
Predictions.
Predictions. Summarise this before the end of the show.
Okay, I reckon I fancy Chelsea extra time. Possibly penalties. I do. I've got a funny feeling. I think Chelsea beat them twice this season. I know Man City beat them back in Stamford Bridge early on in the season, but the last two games will stick in the mind, especially if it's tight.
Guardiola has lost to Chelsea more times than any other club in his career.
There you go.
Do you know what's funny? This time last week, you were the complete. You were like, he's got them boys ready. He's going to win it. There's no way. But as it's creeping up now, you look like you got half a little glint in your eye.
Well, obviously,
half a chance.
Final. Why not?
Because of that. Because I've obviously been talking about it a lot this season. I still believe Manchester City, are going to win the trophy tonight. I think basically they're a better football team than Chelsea, but it's a final. Anything can happen over 90, 120 minutes. And if Chelsea was to win tonight, we're not going to be like next week or on our next podcast going, what a big shock that was. Villarreal beating Manchester United was a bigger shock.
And the odds were massive.
Aston Villa beating Chelsea on the weekend was a bigger shock. If anything, I'd also say Tottenham beating Leicester on the weekend
was
a bigger shock.
I was shocked. I was heartbroken. It's in my bet.
Do you know what my favourite part of that was? I have to add this, right? Right at the end of the game, Gareth Bale, one-on-one with the keeper. He's got Harry Kane to his right. He's not fully aware that Mo Salah scored or not scored at Liverpool. And then Harry Kane's going for the golden boot. And he's basically one-on-one. He's got Harry's right next to him. He's only got to lay it 4 yards and Harry taps it in. He's gone, Nah, fuck off, mate. And he's just tapped it in himself.
Goal bonus, isn't it?
He's hit the post. Goal bonus. 100% goal bonus.
Imagine his goal bonus.
He just as you say, he's probably bought himself a nice new pair of golf clubs with that bonus.
Paul's saying Chelsea in extra time.
Yes, or penalties.
Chelsea in extra time.
I fancy it being tight. I really think finals always tight.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be a funny game. City haven't won this before. Chelsea have been there.
Extra time score? Any score?
Well, I think we 0-0. We're going to 0-0 and then nick a goal. Or it goes pens.
Chelsea will nick a goal and
I think it's
in extra time.
So tight.
Like the Madrid-Liverpool game, which was tight, wasn't it?
Tight.
That was 1-0, right?
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
Now, I would go within 90 minutes 2-0 Man City. I think they're going to win it.
Okay.
I think now this is the beginning of the end for Manchester United thinking that they are the dominant club in England. I think Manchester City now, if you thought they were good before, I think they're really going to start lifting off.
Well, they've got to start winning a few more titles first.
Well, yeah, but
let's see them win a couple of Champions Leagues.
We could be sitting here in a while saying Pep is the greatest Premier League manager ever.
Yeah, he probably is. I think. I think Sir Alex is anyway. But
so how many titles have they won in the last 5? 3 in the last 5.
3 and 5. Yeah,
3 and 5.
Which is fantastic.
So if they double that again, that's 6. 6 in 10. Oh, that's not too bad. I mean, your
Pep won't be there then.
You don't think so?
Pep will be there 2 more years.
But where do you go?
Get into the top is easy. Staying at the top is hard.
Of course, and Fergie will tell you that you just got to keep evolving. That's why maybe Raheem Sterling leaving is exactly what needs to happen.
It does.
You need to keep.
It does. That's exactly what needs. And they're doing the right thing. That's what Man United used to do.
But he's definitely the right man in charge for right now. We're City.
For the foreseeable.
Foreseeable.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree.
So I think. So you're
2-0.
I think 2-0.
Right, and you reckon what's your score prediction?
4-0 Chelsea. Come on, you Blues! Come on!
4-0 Chelsea.
It's fucking coming home.
Right.
Right. So
on that note, go on. Sorry.
Next week we'll have a preview. Next week.
One step beyond.
So a preview next week. I'm away, so we'll do end of the week. Yeah.
Yes, we
the weekend or
can't
something.
you join us live from
I
these
think
locations?
I can do live
from your pool side.
I'll tell you what we'll do. What we'll do for the first time ever.
What?
We'll get you on the phone.
Are you going to do one next week?
If you want to do it, we can get you on the phone.
We can do it the weekend.
Or we can wait till the weekend and do...
It's up to you.
Well, if we wait until... I reckon, because if we wait until the week, like the end of the weekend... Yeah. The week before that'll be the week commencing before the Euros.
I want to do a preview.
We need to do a mega Euros.
Yeah, I want to do some. I want to see what teams. I don't know if you know, but I think you know. I've done a bet on the Danish.
The Danes. They've actually got good 14-1 at one point. When they
is
that when you got them?
Yeah, I've done a bet. You remember?
Were it 12-1 or 14-1?
It was.
Hang on. Bet on them to do what?
To win it.
We're not going to win it. No,
off.
cash out. It's a semi-final. They get to semi-finals. Which I think they will.
I got to admit, I don't even think.
What the odds will be? They'll be like 2-1 in the semi-finals to win it, right? It depends who they play. It's 3-1. I've got 14-1 there.
What's the bet on them to get into the last 4 then? Because you can bet on that, which will give you better odds.
Well, I've done to win and cash out.
Yeah, just if they're in the last 4, cash out.
Hang on, name 4 Denmark players.
Mate, they beat England.
So
Ericsson.
I was going to say Ericsson.
Højbjerg.
I was doing Peter Schmeichel.
Peter Schmeichel, Kasper.
Yeah, Peter Schmeichel's son.
Kasper.
All right, so we're at 3, and it's debatable if all 3 are actually good.
Mate,
what? Ericsson and Højbjerg? Drop me out.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Right.
Most completed tackles in the Premier League.
Lads, let's wrap this up. I want to get to the pub.
Yeah, he's ready to go. Right, so everybody, thanks for listening in. We hope you've enjoyed the show and have a good weekend. Enjoy the bank holiday and enjoy the sunshine. We'll see you all soon. Take care, guys.
Ciao. Blues.
See you later.